game will mean a lot for every player on this server.
Oh, absolutely. And even we had Stacks earlier, and who's now... He might have an opinion on it, but he definitely didn't want to share it because they're all friends here, which is actually pretty cool. It's good vibes here in Seoul, Korea. Now, Abyss is going to be our first map of today. DRX's pick, of course. They did play a bit of Abyss end of last year in Stage 2 as well, and did find success with it. The question is, can Gen G, have they figured something out?
Yeah, DRX is one of the teams that a lot of teams had their eye on, playing that kind of Ascent-ish kind of comp with the KO and the Sober, the flexible double initiator. A lot of teams were actually watching them play Abyss in the early days and liking how DRX looked, but this is where DRX, 4 games in a row of Teo, they are still playing the double in it with a similar kind of style, just flexing out the KO for the Teo. Maybe they've gotten confused on the agents there, but
They do sound similar.
Gen G, they're playing that style that DRX was playing before.
Yeah, Gen G keeping it really simple here. I think everybody is pretty much where we would expect them. I don't think this is Gen G's style. They don't like changing too much. They're going to go with what works for them, and I think this comp is very well suited.
All right, well, I am ready for the Korean face-off here in the semifinals. We're going to go back to our casters, Quack and Chobra.
Thank you very much. Yeah, DRX versus Gen G. If you think back to last year at kickoff, this is also how it started off. They got to the playoff bracket. Gen G beats DRX 2-0. Then they beat them again in the playoffs of Stage 1, and then Gen G becomes the first Korean team, the first, Pacific team to lift an international trophy. We'll see if that story continues or if DRX is finally able to flip things back.
Who knows? I mean, it really could go either way, right? I mean, that's why our talent predictions were all like split down 50-50 exactly down the middle. I really could see it go either way because, you know, while we have seen Gen G completely flip things around last year, now DRX coming in with a new squad, new compositions that they're playing as well, I might add. They can do that same thing just as well.
4 games in a row of Teo freeing, not escaping the one-trick merchant. Continues to see how he's mastered that Teo. Now, we're not seeing it with the breach, right? We're not seeing it with anything like a deadlock or a fade. We do have that Astra, but mostly should be used for a little bit of info, a little bit of zone denial as well.
Mighty, how are you? Yeah, we've seen how aggressive it can be across the map, especially around the east side. But right now, DRX starting things out on the attacking side, already trying to make some movements down mid.
Yeah, using that to break the vents door as well. So you have it so it clears out the close corner on the entrance of A site, but it breaks the vents. Now you can get through. Yeoman with a nice shot to flashback, though. That's a player I wanted to keep our eyes on, but let's wait as we do have 3 members of DRX standing by on the A site.
Oh, through the smoke, and then the fragment right down outside of A main. Really blocks things off, but look, hey, wait a second. Freeing will be able to get that shot down mid.
And that's the Cypher gone. So DRX now do have a free choice. Do we want to go back to B? The Cypher setup should be gone if there was anything at all. But right now, they're just going to focus. They're going to force Gen G to default back towards mid. Try to get information. They're going to fake it out like they're putting pressure on mid. Green, trying to find a timing. He does get taken down, but that should be the signal. DRX has to go. Now they've lost control of that middle of the map.
Yeah, but you're going to have to work with the Asians that you do have. So Hyunmin already dashing in, but look at how Karen Hastings locked down from Heaven. Munchkin towards the back of the site as well. Gen G will be the team that picks up the pistol.
So I want to talk about Yeoman just a bit because obviously the storyline between Foxy 9 and DRX.
Please let me know भाई कैसा क्या है. YouTube स्टूडियो ओपन करो, फिर लाइव पर क्लिक करो, फिर जो लाइव वीडियो उस पर क्लिक करो, उधर मैसेज देगा, उधर प्लस पर क्लिक करो, उधर रहेगा. ठीक है, इसके ओवर टाइम में करते, टाइम आउट में करते हैं. ठीक है. सो फर्स्ट राउंड निकाल लिया है Gen भाई ने निकाल लिया है.
Mid now trying to do the same thing again with the salvos already through. DRX trying to break past it. They've managed to get away with 1 against Karen.
Nice spam through that smoke from DRX, making sure they get whatever benefits they can here in the second round. Gen G, not too many buys on the board. You still have that Marshall, you have that Bulldog, but that's really going to be about it. As we do see the silhouettes, DRX looks like it's going to be a 5-4-man stack towards B, an all-out push.
Slowly building up towards to it at least. Maybe a gun picked up by Hyunmin as well. Has the sight lines all the way up from Nest. But as we mentioned it's going to be Foxy 9 holding a bit of that off angle up around stairs. Has the camera to kind of watch out for things.
Very smart of Foxy9. He gives up on the cam and then makes sure he doesn't get tagged so that the tripwires are still alive. The cam's still broken though, and here come the salvos once more, really making sure that Foxy9 is far away at range. They are safe onto the site. The plant will go down, so DRX already getting some benefits, but Texture will get a free pick. Now down to 16 HP, but that's another kill onto Mako. No smokes for DRX. Still looking. One more, finds one. Munchkin still on the wraparound though. So DRX, I mean, the round seems like it's long gone, but it's a matter of can you do more damage against the 2 remaining weapons of Gen G.
Oh my classic.
It's still a trade for Texture. He's racking up, and Yoman with another kill. That's the start you want to see from your new pickups if you're Gen G. Get that confidence flowing again on this Korean squad.
So far, so good. Although it's that early contact that they already lost because of the information, the noise just being cut completely. They had a bit of an educated guess. So Foxy9 was then able to work across the map with that camera, you know, not really staying on it too long, so still allowing those trips to go off. But ultimately, because he stayed alive enough and also gathered that information for Texture,
बहुत crazy खेलता है भाई.
With that Marshall, I mean, no shields on the other side, right? So that Marshall was just able to wreak havoc all across.
Texture बहुत crazy है भाई.
Against the Eco. DRX, of course, that does mean now.
Guys, सब सही चल रहा है, सही दिख रहा है ना guys? कुछ रहा तो मेरे को बोलो. पहली first time किया है अपने आज watch party. So मेरे को बताओ. Okay, अभी इस time A try करेंगे ये लोग. अपनी प्यारी सी गन देखो. Cookie
immediately. Sova drone gets a bit more information for Gen G.
Wow, drone for a drone, but both sides will be able to spot each other out completely. The one thing that hasn't been spotted, though, is Mako. Right now, just somewhat lurking across the B site. Nothing found, and this is where DRX starts to creep up.
Yeah, he's trying to bring up the rear. Might try to put some pressure back on
crazy
as well as we see
प्यारा
Gen G starting to push out. They have an inkling that there's still some movement on that A side, so Texture getting curious. See if he finds
Texture आ रहा भैया इधर से Texture आ रहा.
This could really come down to how much damage Texture can do.
Okay भाई Mighty, thank you so much for letting me know भाई.
0 point, that's all 5, and now Texture holds. He in fact closes in. 40 seconds, there could be a
Texture.
He's ready for it, but how many? It's just going to be one. He wants to buy time. They want to go for the round win, not just damage, and Texture will get out alive as well.
Texture निकल जाएगा
भाई.
भाई.
Spotted too. Meanwhile,
What's up Levi, कैसे हो? थोड़ी देर में popcorn वगैरह लेके आते हैं हम.
Unfortunately though, the shots don't quite land through. It's just Karen. Has to
भी
buy
popcorn
time with
लेके
the
आ जाओ
flash.
Levi.
Tries to TP to a safe spot, but not quite.
Okay.
will be able
मेरे
to
को
shoot
लगता
him
है ये
down.
मार देंगे,
Then
but Texture
comes
है ना
Texture
बड़वा.
alongside Foxy9 as the smoke starts to
Texture अच्छा
dissipate.
है यार.
Foxy9 though,
My bad,
trying to
sorry.
play it safe.
Texture holding close. He gets one, but that's a
मिल गया
very
एक
easy
और
trade
मिल
for
गया.
freeing. The
अभी
timing
2v1
impeccable
है.
for DRX. Now Foxy9 all alone. Can he strike back against his old home? Now, stranded on the site. Does he have any idea about freeing? Wrapping all the way around. There's the pull! But Foxy9's ready for it. He knows what they're up to. He's waiting for Mako, but it's the wrong side. Mako checks for it. Now they know about each other's location. Mako on a timing on the half! And he tells Foxy9 that he's the veteran for a reason.
Yeah, just sit down, kid. This is why I'm still on DRX. I mean, we jest, but at the same time, it's just an impressive clutch that once again comes out from a player like Mako. One-on-one, right? And of course, with his position somewhat concealed, and also the spike working against Foxy9, he's able and afforded to go for that swing. But down to it, it really is the movements out from DRX. You know, they were able to kind of just march down A, despite Gen G's high-low setup on the site.
Man, with that round win, DRX trying to get back into the game, but obviously a lot of damage taken. So Outlaw being bought up by Flashback, but Econ not entirely healthy on the other side as well. So Outlaws on both sides trying to make sure they get a snowball going. 3-man tag. Munchkin getting so much information from these 0 points. Foxy9 is in a dangerous position. He has to get kills to get alive. I mean, when he's anchored on that side, he's gonna get kills. That's what we saw last week.
Able to go for that first swing, but here comes Texture now. Knows exactly where Human's going to dash into. Second shot fired off as well. Bane trying to work around the cages. Will be able to get down Foxy9 and try to close in the distance even further. The flash, though, will deny that opportunity, and Texture finds yet another kill. Swaps to the classic. Get the shot into Mako.
And it's another 4K for Texture himself. Some things ring true. A lot of the Gen G fans saying if we get the 4K and then we have a slow start, we know Gen G's winning 2-1. That's kind of been the story of this squad since last year, always taking the tougher road. And so far, it looks like it's a good start. But this shot, I mean, just knowing where exactly the jet lands, very patient from the sharpshooter of Gen G.
Yeah, the second shot is also he actually bodied him first and then swaps to the classic. And there it is, Mr. Texture 4K.
Well, now seeing if he can get maybe another 4K. He's got that blade in the pocket as well.
texture को बैठा
already wide, good for two. That's a fast shutdown. Only one stinger left on Bane for DRX. The drone gets spotted. Yo, man. Going to keep them at bay. He's got that Cypher util for Gen G over behind the B site. Now blades up and Texture gets shot down. Entry into the site allowed.
Oh, not quite guns picked up either. They don't quite have the range for it. Mako just kind of towards the back line, providing that cover. Armageddon will get sent through though, trying to break things apart, but DRX aren't in range. Karen continuing to try to push out from the back, but not quite. It's just Bane with the Phantom picked up, taking Gen G down.
I mean, the setups for Mako right there, letting him just take the angles that he so chooses. And then the Armageddon. If they had just planted and maybe used Armageddon for post-plant, they might have actually lost this round, giving space to allow Gen G for the retake. But they're able to just hold close and continue to pressure Gen G, saying, you know you want to stop us from the plant because we have all this util. And they, in fact, walk right into the trap. What a good weapon pickup as well from Bane, hitting that last kill. And already it's neck and neck, back and forth between the two squads. Now Gen G out of creds, onto their Sheriffs and the Guardian.
See what the Guardian can do. It is on Texture after all. Close within range. Here's the stealth drone, but has to back up, and that's information enough that there is quite a bit towards the B site.
Double drone, it's the second one being used as well. It's a lot of information. All right, you know one's in the back of sight, but Texture uses that opportunity, baits him right back into watching one part of the site. There comes the smoke. Texture trying to line up against the ult orb. He heard it, but he's not going to quite land the shots just yet.
Still, though, a big enough pickup that it discourages DRX from continuing to commit in towards the B site. So full rotation all across to A, where Munchkin is lying in wait. A bit of an off angle with the Sheriff. I don't know if that's going to be enough, though. At least Gen G reads the rotation.
Yeah, Yo Man's here. He's only one away from the Hunter's Fury. If he can get a kill and maybe reset, that might be what Gen G needs to win this by time to delay. DRX masking any information. Here come the stars. There are the salvos. It clears out backside, but are they ready for the close angle? He gets pinged in the last second and gets gunned down. Walking across the fragment, DRX does not care. They're still pushing through, but they've been blinded. They've been held back, and now back of sight. Bane pushing through at the front, and it's just going to be Foxy9. No weapon in hand, just a Sheriff against two members of DRX.
Spike planted.
Opts to go through vents.
Foxy
doesn't have much of a choice at this point. Just has to let it be known. They'll hear that door break. Do have the Hunter's Fury, DRX. They win this round, they'll tie it up. Of course, it'll be a bye round on both sides once again in the next one. See what the choice is. Right now, position to try to utilize that numbers advantage. Cyber Cage to hold the half, sitting right at the edge. Recon not quite tagging him. Foxy9 tries to bait them in, but it's a very nice wide swing from Bane. Allows for flashback to collect on the kill.
Because he collects on that kill, that's Neuro Theft for flashback. Because Foxy9 dies, that's Neuro Theft for Foxy9 as well. So ult on both ends, but ultimately a huge round for DRX at the same time, just being able to break into the site this way.
3-3 scoreline. See if that keeps up. It's a good pattern so far for all the fans of both teams and all the fans in the studio today for this Korean Derby. Lots of ults on top of just the Cyphers as well. The Hunter's Fury on both sides. They've got no command for Munchkin, so there is a good opportunity for Gen G to show us a strong retake if they can find the timing. But right now, it's still a 2-1-2 split.
Yeah, trying to play the information game a little bit. Do have Texture on that op as well, though, so that's going to be a little bit crucial as he repositions in towards stairs to try to hold for Foxy9, who does spot things out with the stealth drone and the camera all out. Here comes the Zelfos.
Oh, he's trying to get ahead of it, but freeing reads it. They hear the
Koi
footsteps
baat nahi.
as well.
Bhag gayi hai bhai.
Just making sure he really creates space on top of Heaven. They saw the pings. He's spraying. Is blind, but he'll hold true for now. He tries to go in for the kill. Cutman maybe overreaching just a bit, but you bought time for flashback to wrap around. You know this Cosmic Divide is allowing for this lurk. DRX, they can stay alive on the site. Mako, right now, up top on Raptors. Do they suspect that it's up top? Mako's just trying to stay alive. Everyone trying to distract him. Flashback's already arrived on the way to Heaven. Munchkin getting onto the site. Mako needs to get 1 kill, 2, and the spray down for 3. And it's a 4K for Mako, bringing DRX to the lead.
Can you believe it? Mako hit
Bhai,
himself
kya
in that smoke
mara
for the
usne
longest
4K?
time. Went into Astral Farm to play some further stars as well, but through
Mako!
all of that, I mean, Genji tried to check
Dekha bhai
there, and they
4K
found out some
uska?
blind shots through the smoke, but they didn't hit, so they kind of just thought that he wasn't there at all. And down to it, Mako does what he does best again, swings out of the smoke at the right opportune moment to take down all 4, collecting on those skulls. Genji just not quite able to fend him off.
There were so many
देखो
discussions
भाई,
about
देखो,
whether
इसमें भी
Mako
अपने
could
को समझ
really
में आता है
truly
अपन क्या
become
कर
the
सकते हैं।
IGL that
सिर्फ
DRX
खेलना
needs.
बोल
They
के
even
खेलना
experimented
नहीं,
with
अच्छे
free
से
in the
खेलना।
offseason. But the way he's playing right now in kickoff,
कैसा
boy,
खेल रहे
has
थे
he
वो लोग।
matured into 2.0 as Mako continues to lead this team with the frags and the calls. Hyunmin now trying to find a long angle with that Outlaw. Mako still waiting for the push out of B. A lot of map control right now from DRX, just gauging where the Util's flying out from, seeing when they can strike onto a site. Munchkin ready for a pop flash, but no reaction.
Flash के साथ recall
Oh,
भाई
they just gonna
मार
spam
दिया।
right back. They don't want to wait for that late push out. They'll make sure that there is no frags coming out from the Genji side.
Yoman भाई down हो गए इन लोग
Making
के।
sure not to give away too much, right? That's why there weren't any reactions really, or some of them even playing anti-flash behind some of the pillars. That allows them to go in for that spam against Yeoman. So now resmoking A main, sure, just buys a little bit of time, but DRX has an opportunity to really blow through here.
Fragment has to be good, but does
Theo
DRX
just
slowly
कैसे हाथ में
walk
पकड़
into
के
it? They're
बैठा,
already
एक
ahead.
util
They're
light
past
direct
the
डाल
fragment.
देगा,
There's the
मार
ping on
दिया।
the back of sight. Karon, he's been spotted. Hyunmin's very sharp on the headshot. Bane with 3 kills on the round, and that's just A-side opened up again. And this was my concern. This was why I ended up picking DRX, because if you just don't let Foxy9 anchor on the site, if you don't just walk into him like he wants you to, and you force him to have to play the map, DRX is shutting him down.
That's what DRX gets to do. Finally getting a read on it, just being able to work around some of the smoke timings or even some of the flashes as Munchkin tries to retrieve information on the other end. DRX then plays patient. DRX then waits for the right time to really push and barrel through those smokes where Foxy9 is not able to react. There are just too many overwhelming targets rushing through.
And another thing I want to note from that round is the Teo usage. I will be honest, watching how Freeing was playing in their first match, I thought it was pretty good, but it wasn't quite at the level that I was hoping to see at kickoff with some of the top teams. You know, the Team Util, the combos, things like that. However, if you look at how he sets it up for himself and for the execute itself, they're very well aware of the fact that the timing's just a little bit delayed for Teo utility. So they always push right up into that smoke, up towards that line of scrimmage, so they can instantly flood the site when the util goes out. Once again, there it is. Yeah, come in now on top of the sound. There's instant kill. I mean, it's just utter chaos when the bombs start falling down.
घुस गए भाई ये लोग।
Aaron tries to get ahead of the missile.
और एक मिलेगा मतलब
down
कमबैक
to
प्रॉपर
13
है भाई।
HP.
हो गया।
Spotted by the other drone too, and now he's just kind of stuck. Has to go for the save. I mean, the round just started. The execute just started, but DRX already has the round.
You know, a lot of people said, I mean, Teo, he can just fill every role, right? He's got a drone, he's got a suppress, and then he's got zone denial as well. And DRX is sitting here thinking, well, if the drone's so good, why not use 2? I'll just send 2 drones. You shoot one down, we'll still tag you, we'll still push you out. And they get so much space on these attacks. Now just trying to hunt them down, deny any weapon saved over. Karon down to 13 HP.
मिलेगा मिलेगा।
Should hear them coming. He spots one, and that's going to be Karon down. Munchkin, the lone member of Gen G with a single lonely Vandal.
It's just Bane being
nice.
I mean, you've been working alongside him. Sure, it was the final moments of the round, but still, that is 6-3. Once again, showing DRX's system. Yes, we might have new players on it, but the way that they're playing, the way that they're executing very much is influenced by Termes and his setups. Just the way that they get into range and then set up for those executes with the utility, how they use that Teo utility, and it really just denies for a lot of Gen G with some of these setups. So timeout now being called, and I do wonder if Gen G are gonna try to cook up some kind of a plan where they start to work their way across the map a little bit more, trying to find some of these opening picks and really prevent DRX from setting up.
So the obvious thing they haven't tried is pushing out a B main. As dangerous as it is, right? You use smoke to cover heaven, maybe create that cross angle, but I just don't see Gen G as the type of team who's going to take that risk. But maybe a little bit of earlier pressure onto mid, maybe a little bit more util on that side, because the A main fights have not been working out because of how free the salvos are on that Teo. But one thing else I want to know is this is a very typical timing for a Gen G timeout. Only 3 rounds left in the half. If we recuperate, if we figure out the answer here 3 rounds in a row, DRX has no chance to answer back, because then we flip the half, 6-6 half, and it's back to square one. So, given Solo and HSK's record, I'm willing to hold faith, but of course the weaponry, the firepower, not quite there for Gen G to do anything crazy.
Guardian here, a Sheriff there, still some automatic rifles, still. Don't really fully want to count them out, but definitely do have a little bit more faith in DRX in the current moment. 0 point dodged outside of A main as well. A lot of information matters.
Yeah, trying to focus on that mid as well, trying to get rid of that tripwire. Not able to land the shots from Charon, but with 0 point not getting information, Munchkin wants to hold close. They want to make sure they recognize that DRX has been playing in the smokes, but it's a fake one this time, and Hyunmin just instantly gets to kill Munchkin. You're trapped in the corner. Hyunmin's right above you, dancing around the IGL. The salvo getting a free kill on Charon, and it's just utter disaster and chaos for Gen G.
So unfortunate for Charon as he tried to come back in to rescue his fallen IGL. That's that. 2 players left once again for Gen G, off to fend for themselves in the retake, trying to push through spawn now. And they're going to take just quite a bit of time to clear out every little nook and cranny, while DRX just sits comfortably inside of A main.
Yeah, look at this spider drone. You might as well just ping it as well. It's going to get shot down eventually. Hyunmin with low health going to be the first one to peek out. It's a 3K, wants the 4th, but it's just going to buy time. DRX, oh, they've shoved Foxy9 all the way into a corner, and it's a 4K for Hyunmin as well. 7-3 in the attacking half, and it doesn't look like DRX is going to stop.
Yeah, Gen G hasn't found the answer. Once again, they try to hold LED projector necessarily, but look at this from
projector light जो रहती है
waits
ना,
for the ping, and when he knows exactly just when he's
था
about to
arrangement
run out of
रात में,
space,
पहले तो मेरे को ये
for the
ठीक से
assassination.
नया लिया है, मेरे को नहीं पता कैसे यूज
Now
करना है,
TRX
देखता हूँ मैं.
gonna keep on
फिर
hitting
उसके
that
बाद
A-side.
में
They've only hit B a couple times when they knew they had the advantage, and they were able to
Enjoy
shut it
करो
down.
भाई.
So Gen G just not willing to go for a high-risk play. Not willing to go for a stack right now. All rifles at least on the board, but that Hunter's Fury in Yeoman's hands, it just hasn't been able to see the light of day.
Still just trying to retrieve information outside of A main, but that Blade Storm should very well confirm it. 0 point sent through, just to fend Hyunmin off for a couple of seconds. Fragment to try to delay as much as possible as well.
Yeah, so if the salvos come out, Fragment out, and then Charon has to get whoever's been hiding in the smokes. Gen G seem to have understood that because of Munchkin trying to get in the smoke in that previous round. But Hyunmin, he's going for it again. There's the updraft. He knows he's there, and he's going to be able to take Charon down with the left click. There's the reset on the blades. Sight now starting to get taken over. Backside, Hyunmin finds Munchkin. Not able to get the kill. Backside Gen G, but DRX, they've already spread out like a fan. They've dominated the entire area.
4v2 क्या हो गया ये?
Swarmed A, and that's the spike down. Once again, it's a 2-on-4 retake. We've seen this like 2 or 3 rounds now from Gen G, and it's just unfavorable positions to be in, trying to retake possibly heaven, but that's when Flashback is marking the other end of vents.
क्या लगता है भाई,
it's
comeback
already
होगा
too late
7-3
at this
हो गए.
point, but you gotta wonder, is really the answer to just fight them right at the entrance?
क्या
Right? Or
shock
just
dart
in a
मारते
main, just
भाई.
never give up on that fight, because you let them creep up. I mean, the salvos cover so much space, and then Hyunmin can either come in through the entrance, or he can come around with the updraft. You know, he has a free choice because there's no one really to trade whoever's waiting at the entrance of A site for Gen G. But whatever the answer is like you said, Gen G has not figured it out, and they'll only have one more chance to answer back after this round.
It's just so crazy to me too that like DRX has different ways or different varieties to just break into this ace side. Yeoman with that updraft play, this time with the Blade Storm, supported by his teammates on the Spider Drone, the Salvos, the stun, truly, to actually break down Karen. That's kind of the thing that threw it all off. Although Yeoman went a little bit aggressively further back into the site, and he died, his teammates were right there to find those trades. And that's ultimately what gives DRX their strength in a lot of these site executes.
Time out है भाई, time out.
Time out at this point. Yeah, at the last round of the
2 मिनट
half.
में popcorn
I just said I have full faith in you. This is crazy.
सब chill मार के
Okay,
जाएंगे
I
भाई.
mean, full faith that they think if we get 4, we win. We can win this map. Right? You're looking at the composition. It's very aggressive from the other side. It's got the double drones. If we can draw those out, we can go for this. With our defaults on the attacking side, well, we'll see if it works out. This is a absolute gamble.
Yeah, because it's their like final timeout. You're using it on the last round of the first half, where you're not going to find that much value going into the second half. Then, so trying to do as much as possible now, truly trying to vie for that 4-point round. So we've seen that the answer is not to hold aggressively outside of A main, but what could it be now then that they're looking at? Maybe pushing down B, or is it really mid?
See, it does look like Yeoman also needed a little bit of assistance to sort out something on the tech side, maybe just needing a double check. So hopefully we'll be able to get right into the last round of the half as quickly as possible. Showing the 2 DRX coaches as well. It was nice to see, talking about the coach walkouts. It's not just the head coaches, right? But even though the assistant coaches, they all know each other. They've all been on the same team before in other games as well in the past. So lots of camaraderie amongst these two. Very well knowing the path it takes. Yeah, it does look like we're going to need a little bit of time for Yeoman to get situated once more.
What was lovely was during the off-season, one of the tournaments where these teams were playing against each other, and instead of doing like some kind of regular hug or intense stare down, they actually did a full team huddle together, both teams.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's just so much history amongst these two, and the players as well. Lots of storied players now, quite a few rookies as well, especially on the DRX side. But it does look like we're gonna wait to see exactly what the diagnosis is here on Yeoman's side. Looking a bit concerned. Everyone just holding by. Of course, you can't discuss any of the game during all of this. Lots of Gen G fans, they've been growing. I mean, they were so great last year. You got personalities, texture. You got Munchkin with the confidence. You got Carol, the super rookie coming in 2024. Lots of pride. And quite frankly, again, like I said in the middle of the game, I don't think Gen G fans are too worried. They're pretty used to giving up that first map, going into overtime on map 3, taking the long route as they have. You think back to last year, they played the absolute most rounds of anybody in kickoff around the world because they were just going through the gauntlet the whole time.
And lo and behold, our final map of the day, if it does go to it as well, is Haven. The one where they just went overtime against RQ2. So
I don't want to think about it. I don't want to talk about that Haven. It was a great match. We just leave it there in the past. But we'll see if it even gets there the way DRX is looking right now. Obviously, kind of looking ahead during this tech pause. After this Abyss, we will be going to Gen G's pick of Bind, which was a little bit surprising, I think, for a lot of people. Obviously, in the future, in the near future, Bind will be rotating out as well sometime, perhaps after Masters Bangkok. And you wonder, what does Gen G have cooked up there? Because from what we're seeing, DRX is definitely playing Taeho. I mean, they're going to play Taeho on every map, it seems like. They're just going to make sure they find a way to make it work, whether it's with Breach, whether it's with Silva. It doesn't matter. It's double drone. Sometimes it's the stun combos. But we'll see. And some fans cheering for Foxy9. The meme about Foxy9 absorbing everyone he comes across.
मेरे हिसाब से वो हाथ पहुंचने का है भाई.
DRX, he's back here.
मेरे को तो यही लग रहा.
Against DRX and the coaching staff as well, all in jest. But we'll see if he can succeed so far. He just hasn't been given the opportunity on this map. They just aren't fighting him in his territory.
Nah.
And that could have been one of their key parts of their game plan, right? Trying to deny Foxy9 those opportunities, and that's kind of what we're seeing. You know, down to the one-on-one against Mako as well. And speaking of which, Mako again has been giving us these moments with that 4K from earlier on before. So as we head back into the map, you know, with DRX at an 8-3 right now, just a quick refresher. Gen.G have yet to solve the solution.
Jet marega
this
na
is
ye
when
texture.
DRX kind of stacks up closer towards B.
Yeah, it is going to be the fast push out, though, from Gen.G, right? They clear out A main. They were looking for a pinch onto A main. So just fighting in main wasn't the answer. Let's try to surround him. But nobody there. DRX, a hard read that it's going to be a push out from somewhere. They chose to stack on B. And now they're going to choose to wait.
Yeah,
because, okay, we've given up a lot of space. We don't know if Gen.G's pushed out elsewhere. You still have over a minute. DRX starting to re-clear parts of the map.
Slowly but surely, there's the drone towards mid. Some smoke spent already for Gen.G, though, and that's a little bit worrisome as everyone's stacked up towards the B site now.
Oh, but Gen.G, they make the call. They heard the drone coming out on the B side, and they're going to start to push against it. There's a 0 point, nobody close, so Gen.G, they can just hold the wall. No, they're just going to walk through it, just get gunned down. What is going on? You didn't have the information. Just getting free kills right across the divide, and it ends in a flawless for DRX. A flawless? A terrible assumption from the Gen.G side. One like we've never seen before from the likes of Munchkin. The 0 point tags no one, and they just assume it's a full fake. So they just don't take into account that they could be 2 steps behind. Wow, I mean, I don't know if we've ever seen a blunder like this, a missed call like this from Gen.G. I mean, that's devastating.
Just blown out of the water. I mean, they had no idea, you know, just trying to work off what they had. They didn't take time to clear it. They're feeling the pressure from that many rounds already lost to DRX. So, I mean, at the same time, despite maybe the slight blunder, it's DRX also just being so prepared, so ready, especially with that little bit of a fake cosmic divide to keep themselves set up for that trapped spring.
But that's the point, right? You nailed it on the head because DRX had the initiative. So they're still willing to say, okay, well, we cleared out mid. Did you re-clear mid? If you didn't, Cosmic Divide, let's see what the reaction is. They instantly see the 0 point and they say, whoa, 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 let's just hang back because these guys are here. Because we know that they were stacked up because we didn't see anything in B before. Meanwhile, Gen.G, what they used to last year is always at 1-4. But today, it was a 5-man stack. And like you said, they start to feel the pressure. You have zero information on other parts of the map. You chose to make the call that it's going to be an all-out brawl, and you just missed the distance. They had no way of knowing, but they just were not cautious enough as they get chased down 9-3 at the half.
Sometimes that's what pressure and cortisol can do to you. Well, wondering how Gen.G's going to feel going into this second half without any timeouts left in the bank. 9-3 as we head on in. Gen.G on the attack.
Gen.G gonna go for a 4-man stack, trying to put that early pressure with the 0 point. Bane gets into the smoke, tries to spam out. Make them use that to try to clear the smoke, but Gen.G wise to it.
Okay.
Slowly inching forward.
Flash crazy tha bhai.
Flash drive. It's gonna be an instant dash in. Bane, you are trapped. Barely gets around, and it's a nice ping for flashback texture. Meanwhile, clearing out the back of sight, and Gen.G will take control.
Yeah, Gen.G still able to fight with fisticuffs straight into the side itself.
Flashes
and everything through. Now marking heaven is freeing, tries to look for a bit of an angle. The rest of the team just out around the smokes, waiting for it to dissipate. Mako working alongside Hyunmin.
एंगल देखो भाई क्या होल्ड किए भाई एंगल देख भाई
but obviously it's only a singular pulse, so Foxy9 could have moved. He's trying to keep a little bit of distance from the wall on purpose. See if he can get a free kill against Green. Meanwhile, a dash in. Texture's ready for it. He reads it right through. He knows exactly what's going to happen. And Mako now trapped at the back of sight. Gen.G strikes back at the beginning of the second half.
Come back भाई, come back. Come back बोलते भाई इसको.
Able to kind of just break into the site, flood everything through, and find those angles.
Nice one, yeah, nice one.
Well, Gen.G, both pistols now in favor. And if that's the case, you surely hope they can at least try to make a comeback of some sorts. But this time it's just a good read across the board. And making sure that they don't bite the bait onto clearing the early smoke. They're still holding that back sight. And Texture trying to get that energy back up. A little bit of anger mixed in, it sounds like. But he's at the top of the board for now, leading with that Phantom and 14 kills.
And tied up is Bane, who was the one who kind of, you know, the first one to sort of fall towards the ACER in the previous round. This time, though, full classics on the side of DRX, just trying to keep themselves elevated, throwing off the crosshair placement. Genji looking for another swarm in. Nothing spotted around mid, so we're back to A.
A-Site given over completely from DRX. We'll see if they have still some kind of flood for maybe a little bit of damage, or if they're just going to choose, you know, to go off the map, to go to the spike, anything like that. But they are starting to crowd around, so they do want to provide some delay, a little bit of difficulty, a speed bump perhaps to Genji. 4-man buy on that side. It's a nice ping. Bane does get spotted. Gonna have to get out. Salvo's gonna delay the plant. And now 4 members already here prepared for DRX with classics.
Really close and personal, but still, they are classics. So for now, Genji will be able to fend off and hold, especially closer towards spawn. Takes down 2, now looks for the next one up inside of heaven. That's Yeoman taking the final kill, a flawless round for Genji.
Well, just like the first half, the pistol and the anti-eco going in favor, but the trouble starts in the next round. Genji, they invested a lot in that previous round, so they can match the firepower for the most part. And so far, this A-Site take, I mean, DRX has kept it a little bit on the weaker end, and Genji has abused it to the fullest. I mean, they take control of crossfires and backside. They're watching, you know, the heaven window here from 2 different angles as well. Got all angles covered, so DRX surely, yeah, there's a much heavier setup coming out from Flashback Cypher.
Coming on the goes from before, so some upgrades now for Genji as they try to keep the snowball rolling. But yes, Flashback still trying to defend the A side as much as possible, given how Genji has been pushing in now. Those shotguns are going to break the trips. They managed to flush through, but above and above. It's going to be Texture who kind of rubber bands back, allows for Flashback to get the opening kill. Salvo's coming in now to buy further time and deny space. Foxy9 will at least get away with 1, but is that enough though? As 2 players remaining from Genji try to come back into the site. Gotta watch for heaven, but there it is. Foxy9 gets the first, gets the next as well. That's 3 kills already. Bane right out from below will be able to strike down against Foxy9, and Munchkin turns tail.
Munchkin left all alone. Already a lot of damage done against DRX's buy round, but Munchkin, he knows he has an opportunity to try to secure this round. There's something that Munchkin always tells his team, especially when they're able to get something like the plant spike, and they're starting to hold that post plant. He tells him, I'll clutch it. Do what you gotta do. You know, do just go out confidently, and just enjoy the game, because I'll clutch it when needed. And these are the times when he can prove how confident he is. DRX on the full wraparound. Munchkin already creeping towards, so he's wary of a potential flank, but you're exposed at 2 different angles right now. It's the timing.
It's a Guardian too, though.
Oh, well, he's just gonna get spotted right away. Bane holding that wide angle. Suspense not needed, as DRX will be able to secure this round with 2 rifles left over, full armor on both.
And maybe a shorter route. But instead, Hyunmin and Bane take the longer route, which unfortunately Munchkin wasn't quite looking at. So, at the very least, still with a spike down, a little bit of money, but DRX hitting double digits now in the score.
And something we've seen continuously from Free's tail, as we look at this little jump rope scenario, is that the stealth drone's been being sent out of this window, which means you can jump, get a little distance, get that height, and try to cover most of the site. However, the cyber cage is just tall enough that he didn't get the ping onto Foxy9 and ends up losing Mako for it. So that's something that DRX will also have to adjust in the future. Looking like a push out from DRX, trying to fight him at their own game, but they will just yield after trading util for util.
Especially with that smoke in their way, so trying to fend off, but Texture spotted off at the top of the ponytail, and then Karen taking Freeing down mid.
So you still have that Omen, you still have that controller, Genji, they'll be able to mask some of their position, but without Texture, you're gonna have to take things slow, step by step, and that gives time for DRX to start to reposition and re-clear mid.
That's why they're sitting comfortably right now. Flashback still watching for that pivot around mid. He's got all his util down B long, so if Genji does head there, he's ready for it. Genji instead tries to avoid a lot of those traps and marches down mid instead.
From come in. Oh, he reads it! Waits for that tag to come in, and Foxy9 shut down. Now only 3 members, the no command used up. But DRX, they have the numbers advantage. They can hold until after the plant goes down.
Still though, Genji very much so in the game. Karen with a flash. The spike goes down. Unfortunately, the util expires. Karen through the smoke will be able to get down Flashback as it expires as well.
Shock
and
dart
the
मारा
shock
देख
dart to
लगी
try to hold them off. Bane trying to set a bit of a flank, but still continuing to watch it is Munchkin. Unfortunately goes down to him. Down to just Karen alongside Yeoman. Up on line for the ace, and he's looking for it. Has the tag on towards Bane as well. Karen looking for the timing to swing. The recon goes through, and there it is! Karen with the final headshot for the ace to keep Genji in the game.
Well, as long as it's not Texture, Genji fans will be okay with it. Now, Texture, the record not so great when he actually does get an ace. But Karon, it's all right. He'll be able to secure it. The team setting up for it as well, and it starts with Karon's sharp shooting in mid. I love Hyunmin's decision. He waits just to see if there is anything he can work off of, and as soon as he hears the voice lines come through, peeks out, gets a nice kill. But at the end of the day, Karon positioning himself on rafters. Starts with one of the rookies again on Genji's side. I guess we should stop calling Karon a rookie, but you know, one of the younger members. And we'll see if that's enough for Genji to get the momentum.
Yeah, looking for it at least, or trying to work off of it. 0 point into A main does note out a couple of players, so respecting DRX's positioning and utility right now. The drone suggests that it's a bit of a re-clear, so they might be able to take a little bit of that space. But also still being cautious across the other parts of the map as well.
So Genji just using that firepower advantage to their best of their ability, trying to push DRX back one by one. And now it's just a 5-man death ball. This could turn disastrous, but looking at the weaponry, spotted. Genji, full commitment. Meanwhile, you've got Yeoman trying to wrap around B main. Now the main force they have to get through, and it's going to be Texture just able to work off of the information that Munchkin gives with the jump peaks. Bane will get one, but still the main forces have gotten through. Yeoman, he's got to find a timing to try to help peek and clear the site. You find Freeing, he lands a nice shot with the DRX Classic, and Bane continues to fire up again, and Freeing gets 2 on the site, only 1 member left alive. Munchkin, you've got the spike, you got to run, you can't just wait for the weapons, you have to give them up. 30 seconds on the board.
30 seconds, he can get the spike down, but the question is, where will the final 2 DRX players show up from? That's where he lost in that previous 1-on-2. So now thinking about it, that's it very early on for A main, or maybe even Heaven, and then tries to reposition. He's thinking that they might be going through spawn.
Well, yeah, because that's where the guns were dropped, and DRX purposely gives up on a weapon for Freeing to go all the way around, try to catch Munchkin off guard. Now Munchkin makes the choice here. You should start to hear that stealth drone, so he knows, all right, it's coming through A main. We'll have a good position on window. The salvos, they are going to come by time. Eyes trained onto Heaven. Freeing gets found. That's a clean headshot. 3 kills for Munchkin. A pop flash. Hyunmin, has he dodged it? He's just going to stick the ab, but Munchkin wise to it.
देखा भाई कैसा मारा उसने 2 लोग बचे थे तभी भी मारा कैसा मारा मतलब
1-on-2 clutch, 1 point away from the ults, and that does for sure keep Genji in the game, but you still
भाई ये रूम मेरा ही है मैं ये एंगल से बताता हूँ इसके लिए आपको डायरेक्ट खिड़की दिखती है
that was a round that should have been a lot cleaner for Genji considering their weaponry. DRX was able to wrap back around behind them.
ये देख के बहुत सीखने लायक है मालूम
Just
है
with
चीजें
classics, they took so many players down, leaving
उसने
Munchkin
ड्रोन
alone.
मारा साइड क्लियर किया फिर साइड कौन सी बची ऊपर वाली मतलब जगह कौन सी बची ऊपर वाली तो ऊपर उसने वो उसके 2 ये भेज दिया मिसाइल मतलब समझ रहे भाई लॉजिक
that calls for a timeout from DRX. They're just not quite far ahead
Crazy भाई
as they would want, because you already had 9 at the first half. You've only gotten that 1 buy round that you're supposed to win on paper. Now just at 10-7 on the scoreboard.
अपन जो बकचोदी करता है ना
Trying to really look for those final 3 rounds. They start things off incredibly well.
वो शॉक डार्ट वगैरह तो क्या क्रेजी मारता है भाई मारने का उधर इधर से उधर मारेगा जबकि मारना है उधर
See what the discussion is here. Genji coach is looking a bit more comfortable, just relieved that they have a chance.
लेवी हाय बोल के चले गए क्या ये एक तो गलत बात है ना गजवा
trying to log back in. Karon starts things off for the team. Now Munchkin
तो
the nice clutch as well.
हम कहाँ थे
See if that's enough. Genji, have they downloaded their opponents as they often do towards the end of each
अभी
map?
देखते कमबैक होता है या नहीं
DRX has Termi now really figured it out. Bane
10-7 हो गए
20 kills and 9
टेक्सचर के
deaths, by
कितने
the
किल
way.
टेक्सचर के 17 किल है भाई बाप रे
Earlier on, Bane was feeling a lot of that pressure up around A main, so this time playing up Heaven instead. Alongside flashback anchoring towards the back, but main forces
अभी
Genji
इधर रुक
heading down
चुपचाप
B.
थोड़ा वॉच
Yeah,
पार्टी
so
करेंगे
A-side,
ना
it was
यार
really just about holding that back sight. We saw that tripwire going all the way up to the roof. of that site.
ये देखो जरा इससे सीखने मिलता.
Empty, just Hyunmin, no operator. It's just a Vandal, trusting in the
यार,
talented rookie of
operator ले
DRX
दीगी.
to hold things down and free nearby. He does have the Armageddon, so we'll see if that's part of the use for delaying the site hit. But Gen.G, they've already
आ गए.
He's got to make the call. He's trying to get the first kill, but he loses out to Texture. Salvo's in, but
Entry
Texture
देखा भाई
already
Texture
threw
की.
a nice flash as well to make sure to keep Texture alive and freeing. Waiting for that Armageddon, uses it to push them out into the danger zone, and he's trying to peek out for a kill. He's just waiting for them to come closer, waiting in the smoke, delays it. Now everybody from DRX has arrived. It's a 4-on-5. Mako sets up a star, and that's the timing for Free to go out. It's a 1-for-1 trade, but Yeoman good for 2. Texture now still holding on to the rafters, and suddenly it's just Bane alone. Texture's chasing. And okay, Bane, he'll still rack on one more, but I think the round long gone.
और एक अगर ले लिया ना तो chances है
Pretty
भाई.
much so. Despite the utility
मेरे
from
को ऐसा लग रहा नहीं करे.
Teo,
भाई comeback हो
the
गया.
idea was there, right, to really flush him out of position and then go in with the executes off of some of the DRX players being able to fly in the site. But I think one key utility was Munchkin sending in a 0 point that actually collected onto several players, which then denied them, you know, a little bit more utility as they went in for the fight. So Gen.G were just able to work off of fundamentals and angles being held. So that's what gave them the advantage, just being able to gun them down as they tried to work off of the Armageddon. Unfortunate for DRX.
Yeah, I mean, that's suppression as well, delaying so much. You had the Hunter's Fury too. There could have been some more combos maybe to clear out the close angles. But it just doesn't happen in time. And Gen.G is able to set up at those close angles.
You can see a lot of those like one-on-one individual peaks or attempts at trades. And that really allows for Gen.G to possibly turn things around given DRX's economy this time.
अभी उधर shock dart
a couple Spectres, one Vandal on Hyunmin.
कैसा था mid का reveal?
0 point, getting some information on A main, and also again denying DRX any information on that side of the map. So Gen.G just saying, okay, you don't have information on main. You know, we've already pushed you back. We don't see any util. Where else can you push out from? They're watching for a push out from B. They're watching for a push out from mid. Hyunmin does get spotted. Lets him know that he has a Vandal in hand.
Random से नहीं होता ना रे?
A little bit of that pressure, showing them more variety in their game plans as well. Still though, that Marshall a little bit pesky from Mako.
Mako was spotted, just trying to make it look like he might have cross, and it's going to be a crossfire. Bane, good for it, trying to hold on, but Mako's already down, but it's a nice trade from the other side of mid as Hyunmin come to the rescue. Now just 2 members left on Gen.G. 0 point to clear close. Nobody tagged, so Munchkin trying to push through.
अभी तक तो DRX लग रहा था भाई, but इन लोग ने comeback danger की और Texture है.
He wants to get ahead of it, but he's been tagged and taken down. Fragment does not get launched. Yeoman cannot plant, and DRX will recover up to 11.
भाई मेरे को लगा ये Gen.G मारेगी.
As well for DRX. I mean, talk about a swing round for economy.
अभी बोलने सकते भाई.
Expired as that Hunter's
Fury tagged on towards Munchkin as well.
So 11-8 with a score like this, DRX just set themselves up for success. Just being able to keep themselves controlled around mid and vents. They set everything up. I mean, it was so intentional to have Mako up top mid, and also the other sheriffs up around in close range.
Well, Gen.G, they tried to lay a trap and it doesn't quite work out, but this time Blade Storm for Texture. Again, as we saw DRX use as well.
Texture के ऊपर जरा confidence है.
A site, and so you look at Flashback's position. It's once again just give up the site. We can go for the retake. Cypher util all shut down thanks to the 0 point, so it's an easy entry for the Jet. Texture holding close, but he gets tagged right as he tries to wrap around and escape. 3 members tagged again from DRX. So much information. It's the neural theft, just showing everybody's position. The spike cannot be planted safely, and Hyunmin has arrived. Sprays on for 2 headshots, and Mako will wrap things up for map point.
Info and kills galore for DRX. Everything all set up for it. I mean, just like you mentioned,
DRX
already
GG हो गया
intentional with a positioning from flashback all towards the back of the site. But I think one of the key pieces of utility as well was the Teo salvos.
GG कर दिया.
Texture went so far in. His teammates were stalled behind because of those missiles landing through at their
Crazy
feet.
खेलते रहे ये लोग
Couldn't
तो.
follow in along with him. Had they have done that, maybe the round would have been different, but unfortunate for them. And also the Neuro Theft alongside the drone scan
अरे
as
हाँ
well. That
DRX.
was a free kill for freeing as he tagged down a player behind the boxes.
इसके पास राड बड़ी है
Next
देख.
coming through now. What could be the last?
किसके पास राड बड़ी देखेंगे यार.
Looking to break through the A side again.
Foxy9, yeah, he's got to run. He's been
Leave it
tagging
low,
in, and we just saw what DRX can do with those tags, and that's another trap just for Texture. Flashback succeeds in his mission. Bane once again holding close, but he's got backup in the form of
ये लोग
Free.
इन्फो के ऊपर बहुत खेलते देखा तुम लोगों ने.
That calls for Hyun
टैग हो गया ना भाई कदम.
as well. Just keep info on mid.
Cypher
As
और
Gen G now has
सोआ.
to work the
हाँ.
clock.
Drone avoided. They have those rifles, so still a little bit lethal. But look at how mid is being marked down by Hyun.
ये
He's
Hyunmin
going to
बार
spot
बार
out
इधर
any
से ही आ रहा
potential
है.
rotations. Finds Foxy9 and calls it out, but Foxy9 with a wide swing on the Guardian.
Yeah, the OG DRX rookie answers right back. Takes down Hyunmin. That means
Come back
DRX
here,
now
bro.
lacking information, has to group up somewhere. And on the map, it's going to be mid. Gen G tries to read into this. Says we're going to stack with numbers towards that A site. Start to push through. Bane, he's been spotted.
Bind
He's
map
been
तो
tagged,
मजा
he's
आएगी
been
भाई.
paranoid. He has to escape. He has to regroup with his team.
Managed to do so, but ooh, Foxy9 presses the issue. Freeing uses the gap to abuse it, taking down the spike planter. Munchkin collects and tries to get into a safer spot. Mako working alongside Freeing, marking the other end, but Yeoman right underneath Freeing, unfortunately, not quite noted. And that's going to be the first one. Now looking for the next. Yeoman gets into a closer range. Mako still looking for some possible angles, but right underneath once again, drags him down to the ground.
12-9, 3 chances left for DRX to close things out here on their map pick of Abyss. As everybody continues to rack up quite a few more kills, but man, these trips, just every couple rounds, Flashback sets up that little jump rope trampoline, and Texture cannot get into the site.
Just repeatedly denying a lot of it. So much value found with these
Nice one,
setups. You gotta imagine at some point, I mean, Gen G surely tries to explore other portions of the map, but I mean, so far their solution, so far the successful rounds have been the ones on towards A, and right now aggressively in, taking that fight against Hyun.
एक नंबर चलो एक निकाल लिया तुम लोगों ने जरा chill मारो.
And Karon
Chill
wins
मारो.
out this time, getting a little bit of revenge compared to the very beginning of this
Come
map.
back है भाई.
Meanwhile, Gen G trying to set up for a little working on B side as well. Like you mentioned, they haven't quite explored that too much coming into the second half. See if that pressure can maybe draw out a lot of forces away from that A side of DRX.
Crazy था डार्ट.
Drone picked up though. I mean,
Omen
Outdoor
का
picked
अल्टे
up
और
DRX
Yeoman का
against
अल्टे
that
भाई.
as well. Just holding outside of B, nothing so far.
Yeah, so door break just making it sound like you are looking to focus on to mid. See if that draws him back into that A site. Bane waiting to launch that recon in case there's a hit. Because now the DRX is feeling the pressure.
Tag
saying,
and
okay, well,
texture.
they have to start showing their hand a little bit. Stealth drone to see if this is a fake or not. Gets sight of 2 right at the end. Actually,
दो tag हो गए.
so that's actually going to work out. But Gen G says, let's use this against them. Now they know that there were 2 people here. It's the KO and the Omen. So that's going to keep them tied up on the A site. And they quickly rotate for a B hit.
Where they can overwhelm with numbers against the 2 players from DRX, just trying to hold off the side as much as possible. Thankfully for them, though, Flashback has all his utility on the B side, but right now it's being dealt with. Cages up, and Flashback tries to work around it, but Texture gets ahead of it, takes down Mako. Flashback in for the trade, and then repositions around stairs.
चल 4v3, चल 4v3, plant हो गया.
By the tripwire, and he can't get out in time. Flashback will get that kill. Now a 3v3. Foxy9, you are stunned.
एक नंबर stun हो गया भाई.
He can win the fight. Freeing using Teo's util to the max. He's got his hands ready. The Armageddon coming through, forcing them to come to fight. Karon gets one, and Yeoman, he needed to hit both, but it's just too far of a high-low. And DRX will close out map 1, their pick of Abyss, at 13-9.
इसके बाद bind है
You can
bind.
still see it in the final round. The amount of value that Freeing Tejo brings. The Armageddon towards the back, the salvos, and also the stun. Just Munchkin completely trapped and stunned and dinged up, couldn't do anything against it. Although Gen G fought incredibly hard in the second half to bring the score up to 9, it was still DRX to close things out.
Yeah, and that Armageddon in that
Oh,
last
no,
round,
online.
you like to see it knowing that you have the numbers advantage, saying, hey, as long as we push them out of those areas where we can't actually fight them yet, if they're hiding behind pillar or maybe something like that around the corner, then if they come closer, we can just trade. We can out-trade them. We have the high-low. We can go for the double peek. And you love that confidence. It's good usage, freeing, really just leveling up as we see them play map by map. So far, only playing that Tejo. And Mako leading the charge in a couple of these rounds as well. But honestly, while we didn't shout his name as much, Bane racked up so many kills too. I mean, this was just an absolute team effort from DRX.
Truly, I mean, in true DRX fashion, right? Again, with the executes on their attacking half, but at the same time, Bane, you know, he had some of these incredible moments where he's just then able to refill the space that his teammates take up. And that's where we truly saw, you know, him providing that value as the Sova.
Well, we'll see if that can continue, as we will have to wait for Genji's pick of Bind. But for now, DRX not letting it get too close, securing that first map and leading 1-0. We'll send it over to the analyst desk to discuss all the action from map 1.
आ जाओ वेलो।
भाई क्या मारा डीआरएक्स ने भाई।
मजा आ गया भाई, मजा आ गया
भाई जीजी था भाई।
बाइंड पे मजा आएगा, बाइंड पे।
भाई वो उड़ते वाला सीन देखा जेट का, क्या उड़ के वहां पे आया
देखा
भाई, और क्या सेक्सी था वो वाला सीन भाई।
मजा आ गया देख के वो। तो अभी कितने देर का टाइम रहता, उसके बाद में चालू होता? अरे टिमलेस,
हाँ बोल बोल।
कितने देर का टाइम रहता फिर वापस कभी चालू होती?
15-20 मिनट बाद।
तो क्या खेले फिर?
तब तक लगा कॉम्पी एक।
नहीं रे, कॉम्पी ज्यादा टाइम हो जाएगा। स्विफ्ट पे लगाता हूँ एक।
हाँ लगा ली, लगा ली।
दाबी व्हाट्सअप, कैसे हो दाबी?
बढ़िया बढ़िया।
अपनी वॉच पार्टी चल रही है भाई यूट्यूब के ऊपर, टाइम मिले तो आ जाना थोड़ा।
फॉलो कर रहा हूँ।
क्या बोले?
फॉलो कर रहा हूँ भाई, देखी 2-4 मिनट।
अच्छा अच्छा,
मजा आया भाई, क्या गेम प्ले था भाई।
मेरे को बाइंड पे देखना है भाई, बाइंड पे मजा आएगा। इसे यूज करना है
भाई। जहर खेल रहे भाई, इतना जहर कैसे खेल सकता है कोई?
अरे मतलब वो लोग का रिवील पे कितना डेंजर गेम था भाई।
भाई तगड़े प्लेयर है, माँ कसम भाई उनका। भाई क्रॉसहेयर प्लेसमेंट कितना तगड़ा है भाई उनका।
वही तो मैं बोल रहा ना, अपने को देखना चाहिए भाई वो लोगों के गेम। अपन सिर्फ अपना घुस जाते
था।
अरे उनके
माइंडसेट घुसने वाला का माइंडसेट बहुत अलग है भाई, जहर माइंडसेट।
मजा आ गया।
पता है भाई कहाँ से आ रहा है कौन बंदा।
अपन में घुसो घुसो।
और उनमें आईजीएल नहीं होता, उनके अंदर कोचेस होते हैं। वो कोचेस बैठे होते हैं अलग से, वो गाइड करते रहते हैं। वो खेलते नहीं है, मतलब वो उनकी टीम में ही होते हैं, पर वो गाइड करते हैं कि कौन कहाँ से रोटेशन लेनी है, कहाँ से अटैकिंग साइड खेलनी है। वही वही
तो उनको मैप के बारे में कितना मालूमात रहना चाहिए।
वही भाई, पैसे मिलते हैं कोच को, पता है?
वो तो है
बहुत भाई, बहुत तगड़ा पैसा मिलता है। प्लेयर से भी अच्छे पैसा मिलता होगा कोच को।
LA. I've got a few spots I should revisit out here.
भाई उनका पीसी बड़ा तगड़ा होता होगा वहाँ का।
That bank in Malibu.
भाई उनका पीसी तो
Good times.
टैरेट को कैसा करते हैं इसका?
टैरेट को कौन को?
Reloading. Reloading. Turret out. Reloading. Recalling my bot.
अच्छा ऐसा करते हैं।
मजा आया भाई मुझे तो भाई देख।
Still in sight. Still in sight.
राइट में रहना है यहाँ पर।
Reloading.
चलो वो लोग बी पे स्पाइक लेके चले गए।
Spike down B. One enemy remaining.
I got a spike. Placing sentry. Spikes down.
Nice.
Hungry. Breach, I wish you'd take my extra reactor coolant. If your arms overheat out there, don't blame me.
इसे क्या है?
Placing swarm grenade.
अरे इसको वापस कैसे उठाने का?
Out of
कौन सी को?
charges.
ये स्वॉर्म ग्रेनेड।
रिलोड का शायद।
अच्छा उठा। यो आरुष व्हाट्सअप। आज वॉच पार्टी है भाई। आज अपन मजे करेंगे देखते देखते।
Cutting their vision. Cutting their vision. Placing sentry. Enemy spotted.
और वो लोग पता है क्या किल के लिए नहीं खेल रहे वो लोग।
Bot coming back.
फिर
Enemy spotted B.
वो लोग जीतने के लिए खेल रहे हैं।
Placing swarm grenade. Enemy spotted mid.
स्वॉर्म ग्रेनेड को आउट कैसे
Spike
करने का?
down B. Last player
Joke's
standing.
over. You're
कौन से
dead.
ग्रेनेड को?
स्वॉर्म ग्रेनेड आउट करते हैं।
कौन ग्रेनेड?
अरे यार केजे का
One enemy remaining.
Resist.
वो नहीं पता मुझे। मैंने केजे कभी चलाया ही नहीं।
एफ दबाना है उसकी तरफ देख के।
अगर वो अपने सामने नहीं रहेगा तो नहीं होगा क्या?
तरफ देखना तो पड़ेगा ही ना।
I have the spike.
30 seconds left.
और भाई वो लोग क्या मस्त लर्किंग करते हैं भाई। फुट भी नहीं देने देते भाई किसी को।
If I act superior, it's because I am.
As soon as the darts stay on it.
Reyna,
Yeah,
I can see why you don't want any of my tech. Scary enough without it. Placing swarm grenade.
अरे मुझे पक्का पता था वो DRX ही जीतेगी। उनका भाई
देखते हैं ना
एडवांटेज
अभी
बहुत
इसके बाद
था।
के मैच कैसा होता है।
इसके बाद का मैच तो भाई देखने लायक है।
Time for a field test.
क्या कमबैक करेगी? मजा आएगा। अबे वो लोग तो हाथ भी नहीं मिलाकर गए एक दूसरे से भाई।
तो अभी तक जीत
तो
नहीं हो गया ना।
Blindfold. Turret down. Placing swarm grenade. Placing alarm bot.
Last player standing.
नाइस।
Oh my god.
Last round before the switch.
Either spend all your money or give it to me. Good call either way.
गॉन आया है ना गॉन। गॉन चला गया गॉन।
Tear them down, Breach.
Still in sight.
अरे वो रेडिएंट के प्लेयर होंगे हैं जो खेल रहे हैं।
हाँ
है ना? ओ भाई साहब।
Come on, let's go. No, you don't.
One enemy remaining.
Cutting their vision. Turret out.
Last player standing.
हाँ,
Is this the
sexy
best?
guy.
बच गया भाई। कितने शॉट
Switching
मिस किए
sides.
हैं?
Remember,
Stay out of fire.
Fix it up.
Gets the kill. 1v2 for Texture. He
ए बाइंड का मैप चालू हो गया, जल्दी करो।
चालू भी हो गया?
हाँ
ओ तेरी।
रश खेल
reloading.
घुस के खेल, थ्रो कर, माँ क्या कुछ भी कर।
Get them, Reyna. Placing sentry. Bot coming back.
Bunch of
use
guys
that yet.
B. Flash out.
Placing swarm grenade.
Careful now. Blasting. Reloaded.
Spike down B. Last player standing.
चलो रे जल्दी करो। इसके बाद अपने को मैच चालू वॉच पार्टी करनी है, जल्दी करो।
So meaningless.
सरेंडर कर दो, सरेंडर कर
Might as
दो।
well give
ये लोग
them
नहीं
to
करेंगे ना। गाइस सरेंडर कर दो भाई, अपने को वॉच पार्टी करनी है यार। अरे यार वी आर लाइव गाइस। कोई बात नहीं, चलो फटाफट खेलेंगे, फटाफट हारेंगे।
Keep it
कितने हो
cool.
गए?
That's how you survive. Placing swarm grenade.
weapon. Not gonna take that duel.
कोई नहीं, 1-0 हो गया, 1-0 हो गया। चलो
Stealth
कोई
drone coming out.
फट 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 करो।
Just so much info, turn by turn. It's stealth drone. Then this 0.
अरे 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 चलना इमले
Healing.
जल्दी।
Still
Spike
inside.
planted.
Opponent.
Last player standing.
जाना इमले, चलना, खत्म करना। चलो चलो कोई बात नहीं, चलो फटाफट खत्म करो ये।
Their jet is playing hard to get. All right, I'll play.
हाँ हाँ खत्म कर दो भाई।
ये बड़ा पाव ले आओ, बड़ा पाव, वो बिग बोंडा वाला। ये बड़ा पाव ले आओ, बड़ा पाव खा लेंगे। मन कर रहा
है बड़ा पाव।
They want to fight? Let's
हाँ,
fight.
तू भी खा ले। ओ तू तो खाता ही रहता है महाराष्ट्र के
Joke's
लोग।
over. You're dead. Flash out.
Healing.
Clearing out.
Spike down B.
My ultimate's ready.
One enemy remaining.
फटाफट खत्म करो भाई.
Your life won't go to waste. Match point.
They think they're better than us. I can tell.
तुम्हारे वहाँ पे तो पूरा लेसन में होता होगा ना वड़ा पाव मजेदार एकदम. तुम्हारे वहाँ पे हरी चटनी मिलती है?
अरे हरी लाल सूखी गीली सब चटनी मिलती है, मिर्ची भी मिलती है साथ में.
ओए होए होए, मिर्ची तो हमारे यहाँ पे मिलता है यार.
Oh yeah! Monster on the loose!
Enemy down. My ultimate is ready.
Spike down B. One enemy remaining.
Got 3.
लो जीत भी गए.
Defenders win.
Okay, everyone, take a test tube. Thank
Okay
you.
guys, तो चलो
Let's collect
वॉच
samples
पार्टी
and
चालू
get out of
करते हैं
here.
अपनी. लौड़े को
चलो,
सॉरी
let's
बोला
go.
था, अभी बहन से मेरे को गाली दे रहा हो. चलो लेट्स स्टार्ट. आ जाओ चलो. तो
Hero point comes back.
भाई 1-1 हो गया अभी से.
Genji, but the
कुछ
question
सीन
is,
नहीं.
yo man, can he finish that Nightfall? 1 point away from that ultimate. He wants it, but he doesn't want to go too early and give up the
पॉपकॉर्न लेके
Phantom.
आया भाई, पॉपकॉर्न लेके आया मैं.
We'll wait for it. Okay, Flashback saying, you know what? No, you're not getting the ult point either. We're just going to call this a stalemate. Foxy9, meanwhile, tried to see if he could get a pinch around, but everyone on Gen G says, let's keep our weapons. We'll get our ults the next round.
So nonetheless, still a successful next round for Gen G, having thwarted the previous one, being able to take those fights down. I mean, they lost a couple players here and there. It got a little bit dicey at some point because of, you know, Munchkin falling across on the other
Hello,
part of the
throwback,
map,
how are you?
Not too much loss, right? Just the Marshall.
मैं पॉपकॉर्न लाने गया था ब्रो.
Marshall drop,
मस्त
but you got your rifles. so
पॉपकॉर्न उसके ऊपर
Gen
चीज
G
पाउडर.
really get him! Texture, just adding
Chalo,
a little
let's
bit of
go.
spice and humor to this match, leading 2-1. Yeoman now at 4-2
Yes,
with
आज
that
के लिए
early
change कर
great
दिया.
eco round. Looking for that Nightfall, but right now it's just going to be passive waiting
ये हो
from
रिया
Gen
है.
G.
Well, DRX tries to get ahead a little bit, trying to get some early peeks down, be short. In with the salvos. Nothing found though, so it at least forces out the Dizzy reclear, but that's also another ability that quickly comes back online.
Yeah,
के टाइम पे
Gen
अच्छे से
G,
नहीं
I
दिखता.
think if
अगर
they
यहाँ
start
से
to read
दूर
into
तो.
this, they'll be happy to
It's good.
constantly trade for that, because as long as you don't engage in the fight with the salvos, you can always reclear with that Dizzy, which will come back way quicker off of
Feed
that
देगा
cooldown.
कैसे ले रहे
Flashback
वो लोग?
spotted. It's going to draw out the toxins. Toxin for toxin now being drained down, but Gen G trying to get ahead of it with speed. The boombot not quite going in. Foxy9 gets a kill on the other side. Texture clears out lamps, and that should be the sight in favor of Gen G. Wingman going forward to plant the spike. Mako trying to spray them down, but the spike has already been completed. He's so low, and he will have to hide away. Pink shells to draw him out. Mako nowhere to go, stuck here on the bench.
Yeah, still
Hold the
down.
like के button
Salvos,
को.
though, just looking to kind of clear out some of the common spots, but nothing found just yet. Hyunmin looking for a couple of angles out from heaven, but
बता दो.
again, can't
कौन सी
quite
पे
find too much. Gen G has gotten out of range, out of sight
भाई
lines,
3-1 है.
away from DRX.
3-1
They're
है भाई.
actually keeping themselves within range where they can then toss some mollies. You know, Karen's got his
दो वाइपर
incendiary.
हैं. चू.
Yeah, Gen G should
Maza.
just be fine to toss it if they hear anything, but they've got Foxy9 kind of fishing for info just at 10 HP.
Oh!
Seeing if there's anyone left on the site. Meanwhile, Texture wanted to go out.
इधर
and
से
a
बच
little
गया,
bit of an
उधर से
extra
नहीं
hunt, but he
बचेगा.
will get taken down. Gen G keeping 4 weapons alive, and DRX saving with
जेंजी
3.
आया ना भाई.
Yeah, it's not too
ये
bad.
मैच
Texture
जेंजी मारेगा
falls,
भाई,
and so
मेरे को
far
तो
so
लगता है
good.
भाई.
Gen G gets to buy up again, and
ये
they're
मैच
just
जेंजी
able to
मारेगा.
work this through. I mean, just gathering a little bit of information. You know, we don't have to challenge the salvos, and once they figure out what kind of setup DRX has, then they're able to go into those executes, right? The Dizzy up in the air, textured again in that space, and getting close enough to really break across the site.
So
Let's go.
TRX, I wonder at what point they start to switch up maybe the timing on the salvos,
नहीं
right?
जीतता रे
Wait for
DRX.
Gen G to showcase
Bind
their
पे
info util
danger
first and
Gen
then
G.
push them back for extra delay. I love the idea of trying to just refresh the cooldowns as soon as possible, but so far, Gen G has avoided getting trapped into that bait every one of these rounds.
And that's exactly what DRX are doing right now. Freeing, holding on to his salvos, not really spending them just yet. Gen G, though, also playing the patient game, looking out for movements across the other sides. Marco continuing to jiggle, and DRX looking for info.
Yeah, DRX doesn't have too much, but they do have control of showers, and that's going to be enough for them to feel a little bit safe. The stealth drone, not going to find as much information in you need, but flashback. It's a nice spray down with the one-way. Blooming as well, just catches sight of Foxy9's
तेरे मुंह
angles.
में
Free now waiting for the counter push. They know how Gen G operates.
Sale
No
aimless.
reason to overreact. Bane spots him.
तीन
And the
player
salvos on
direct,
top
top,
of the frag.
down.
A little bit of overkill, but they'll just keep that delay. And Freeing is still watching. Why? Because they've got that delay over.
इतने पे मारा भाई.
Might be long.
With the stun as well, just to deny as much as possible. They don't want to let Munchkin pick up the alt orb too.
Yeah, and they're just defending the spike as well. Munchkin already in position to save, but flashback. He's wrapping around. Can they give it to someone like Freeing? 1 point away from that Armageddon. Flashback finds him. He just has to take the kill, and that's 3K for Flashback as TRX climbs back to 2.
Thought about it. But at the same time, I mean, just being able to work their way
DRX
through like
को
this,
रुक
getting
जरा.
a read for how Gen G's tendencies might play through, right? Knowing that they're
अभी
trying
ये
to
वाला
get
round
within
देख कौन
range, trying to
मारेगा.
look for some of these fights. We don't have to spend
Gen G
all of our
मारेगा.
utility. And because of that, they're able to take a lot of these headshots, a lot of these duels. Or maybe not even quite. You know, they're working through like really tight angles. Down to
क्योंकि
some of the final moments as well.
तीन
You
लोगों
can
के
see
पास
how
ult है.
Freeing
Gen
positions
G वालों के
himself,
पास
how he's
तीन
not
लोगों के
really
पास ult
going
है.
far out too aggressive for the hunt, despite
अभी
being
देख.
close to his ultimate. So that's something to keep our eyes on.
Yeah, but Gen G, they've been rotating their
Fred से
ultimates
लेंगे
quite
entry
well. Now stacked up,
और
Showstopper, Nightfall, and the
Texture भी लेगा
Thrash.
entry.
They wanted, it could be a quick shutdown to try to slow down the economy of DRX just a bit as they've accumulated quite the bank
Gen
for
G on
themselves.
top by.
That stealth thrown out very deep. All the way into Fountains, but not getting any tags. There's the Thrash, but it's going to be
अरे
an
Gecko
instant
का भी
0
है.
point. Thrash not tagged, though, so he will be able to continue on all the way through Lamps. Keeps jumping at bay. There's the paint shells. Texture's already ahead of it and gets the kill
एक
on the
number.
opponent race. Texture on a bit of an island on
Texture
his
ने ले लिया
own.
kill.
The spike now being rotated. Too much opposition, Gen G says. And they want to slow things
Alte
down.
भाई
Texture
अभी.
now going to be the lurk.
He's comfortable for it too, has the showstopper, and is working alongside Foxy9, then goes through the teleporter, then
Teleport
able
went.
to collapse and collect in towards the B site with that showstopper. Dizzy out, looking for the next play, but Freeing gets ahead of it in towards Gunner, he sprays them down! The third kill, Mako to collect on the last! Gen G, they've gone all down into the ground!
What a hold, and that
Viper है ना,
position,
Viper?
I mean, it used to be Lakia's back
बीच
on
में
Gen G,
कर रहा है भाई.
but
Viper
that
की वजह से
position,
ये सब
the
हो रहा
fact
है
that he
भाई.
makes the
क्या
choice
यार.
to push out, he says, okay, Showstopper, it's coming through that TP.
वो दो kill
Then
ले
here's
लिया भाई.
the Dizzy, and Freeing says,
देख,
well, there's no
वो-
choice, and I
वो
have to
smoke दे
make
रहा
the
था
call.
और ये-
He's able to shut down the pinch, and everything falls apart. And yeah, I mean, yeah, arms up for sure. You cheer for yourself on that one, because you saved it.
I don't think he expected to get those kills, but my, why not?
Aimless.
Now a pop flash to set up the operator. There it
Abhi
is.
dekh.
We were joking about it earlier, but now it's become a reality at round 7. And Gen G, we got a lot more to work on. Uh-oh, Armageddon and the salvos. Texture, you have nowhere to go. It's perfectly lined up. Freeing, you are leveling up on this Teo map by map.
Oh my god, the perfect L shape in towards Garden. Then the op kill outside of Showers, just completely denying full map control for the side of DRX, just as you predicted, Chobra. Then the drone, the spot out outside of B short. They know exactly where Gen G are coming from. The fragment right outside of Garden. The spike dropped because Mako picked up the kill, and Yeoman has no choice but to back off.
Yeah, but still 55 seconds.
Spike ले लो
Yeoman
रे.
and Karen, not quite sure what you can do here. You
Save?
gotta try to get ahead of things to save, but even that, flashback, he's out on the hunt. They'll start to slowly creep forward. Flashback, gonna run into Karen. Karen opens things up a little bit. So Gen G should be able to save these rifles as we take a look at TRX just guarding that spike. But again, the big question is Gen G, can they figure out a way, a timing, where they can push back DRX on each side of the map one by one? Because when they just try to start to spearhead on one side, I mean, DRX, again, we have that op and showers, you've got, you know, flashback watching short with that poison orb, and then you've still got that toxic screen, still so much delay, so nobody has to move. Even if someone like Foxy9 is creeping in like you did on this round, nobody ever has to look elsewhere because they already know exactly what they have covered.
Absolutely, they truly have so freaking much DRX. I mean, you talked about it before.
ये starting ही रहे, अभी इतना नहीं, बाद में intense होता, बाद में एकदम proper tactics से खेलते हैं.
But on the other side, though, Gen G is
start
sitting a
में
little
इतना
bit
नहीं
closer to
करेंगे.
some ultimates.
बाद में देख भाई, texture load to play.
That could be what allows them to create a little bit more space, fending off.
देख उसने कैसा किया भाई, उधर alt मारा और इधर दोनों ये कर दिया, खत्म.
That's just an unfortunate position.
उसको जाने को जगह नहीं थी.
But again, yeah, Mako holding that close angle. He already knows he has his back covered. Nobody's coming around the flank. Got people watching at different angles.
Texture को नहीं बोल रहा तू, साले last time पे bottom top rank कर रहा था वो.
Earlier timeout this time, trying to see if they can get back into the lead.
Definitely something to consider is where that op might be positioned. Once again, Yeoman does have the Nightfall, so another possible way of entry. I mean, if DRX are playing the same positions as before, right? If April don't fix it, if we're keeping Gunman on the offense bats, they might just be able to find a bit of a full send through a short.
साला अपन 17 साल के 16 साल के नहीं हो गए, माँ किया.
Ways, one of the previous rounds successfully found by Gen G before.
Yeah, curious to see exactly what that op's going to be. Wouldn't mind posting the op onto a short
and
having some other push Gen G back out. Because the biggest tool that Gen G has right now to try to fish that operator is going to be that Prowler. And try to push him back and maybe trade off of it. So that's going to come through showers. Try to have someone else position. The op's not going to be on short, but it does look like they are just saying, okay, you want to kind of scout out showers? Feel free to take it for the time being. We'll clear it afterwards.
Yeah, that's what that toxic screen from flashback is there for through the teleporter. Really forcing Gen G to consider their resources, but right now, trying to get a good read for the map as well. 0 point right in, but Gen G avoids it.
Yeah, Stealth Drone goes out over by Hookah as well. You already have the op posted on B main, so now DRX knows. Again, it's the same situation, all right? It's not B. They're still kind of positioned somewhere on A, guys, so just keep your crosshairs tuned. We'll make sure that we notify you if we see anything. Texture tries to go ahead of things, but he doesn't check his back. And Bane only close right under the smoke. We've talked about how this has become a popular strategy among so many people, and yet they still fall for it. Munchkin trying to make what he can out of the situation, but Bane now on for 3. He's got no audio, but he's got kills for sure as he gets a 4th.
How did he turned around at the last
मैंने म्यूट ही रखा था. वो क्या बोल रहा है? वैसे ही बोल रहा है भाई.
He had no audio.
वो टीम के ऊपर से बोल रहा भाई.
Unbelievable with how Bane was able to make that play happen. It was exactly that A short exec from Gen G, but Bane completely denied all of it, just playing so close to that toxic screen edge, throwing down the fragment to continue to delay, but back in towards Bats as well.
The Death Dodge about it. Bane wants us to talk about him. Well, he's giving us plenty of opportunities in both of these maps so far. DRX leads 5-3. Gen G now going for an all-out launch onto B. It's a pinch. They're trying to push the op now. They're trying to trap him in. There's the Molly coming in from afar with the lineup. But again, so much delay. They've been stopped. Texture, you can't quite get in just yet. You're gone! And into the grinder. The op gets a shot. Bane's still alive. He's just going to be able to hold back as the showstopper pushes everyone back. Now trying to flood the site. Bane still alive with a no command. He cannot quite get the flash drive out in time. And finally, maybe Gen G, a chance for some breathing and to get around back.
They staggered it. They staggered their approach into the site, and that's what made the difference. Now all that's left, just flashback as Bane unfortunately goes down to Munchkin, who spams down at his cold corpse.
Game खेला था पोल के ऊपर. वो बंदा जो था उसके इसमें से आए हो आप.
Maybe flush someone out of position. Has to go out of drop anyway, but unfortunately, Yeoman quick to
Hello,
react.
hi.
Oh boy, I was getting scared, right? Once again, we see everything like the orbital strike come through. A nice off shot from Yeoman as well. The showstopper bringing Munchkin down so very low.
Oh, क्या मारा है भाई?
The air. But the util and then the snare still not giving up. Making sure Yeoman keeping his crosshairs trained, catches Yeoman, and that opens things up. As the rotate was just a bit too slow. So Gen G What they've figured out is, okay, don't let them get info and then rotate. If we're going to go all in, we got to go all in. But otherwise, if you're going to hold default like this, you got to make sure you draw it a little bit more utility and start to push DRX back one by one.
वैसे भाई बहुत अच्छा खेले तुम. पहले मेरे को आप स्मर्फ लगे, उसके बाद में
Still though,
आप सिल्वर पे थे तो मैं बोला भाई
play,
लव यू भाई, बहुत सही खेले. मजा आ गया भाई.
Push into B.
Okay, so
हमारे साथ थोड़ा इधर भी टाइम स्पेंड करो भैया.
but look at DRX. They've already
Chalo,
said,
let's
okay,
go.
it's not a rush, so we're gonna rotate. They have a read on Gen G's playbook right now. If it's not an all-out rush, we're gonna rotate early. Now they're pushing out of showers. They tell Hyunmin, no, go back. We already pushed out all the way to the entrance of showers, and there's still nobody. So even if it's an A hit, we have an opportunity for a retake. Gen G, though, thankfully on their end, they get a sniff of it and they say, okay, something's a little off. We're still seeing a lot of delay over here on the B side. Let's try to reset. We still got 50 seconds.
Reset they will, closer towards the A side. 4 players stacked up where it's just 2 players from DRX on the A side, Bane alongside Flashback. They have their own delay util as well, but the timing of it has to be on point. And also the talk screen this time a little bit wider, so it's a lot more space where Bane cannot play that close range fight. So he's playing further back now,
30 seconds
and he's
left.
trying to listen for as much as possible. Teo pushing
Hey,
out,
okay.
getting a lot of info outside of B as well.
All right, Texture trying to come through, but there's the Viper's pit. If you want to plant, you got to get into the pit itself. I don't know if that talk screen
पता चल
has
गया
much
भाई.
info. It's pit for pit. Flashback
ये
now.
लैग क्यों मार रहा है ये? हैं तो
Now holding close on showers, trying to prevent the pinch, but he knows he has to get out of there.
Nice.
He gets one kill onto Yeoman, sprays back towards him, and Flashback gets 2, shuts down Texture, freeing, holding down on the site, wrapping around an ace short, and now it's just Munchkin left as he falls to the shorty of Hyunmin.
DRX. They had the right reads, they set up for everything, and down to it, pulling out the Viper's pit. Truly putting up these roadblocks ahead of Gen G where they just can't quite break it through. And then once again, just Flashback working alongside Bane, right? The 2 sort of rookies, if you will, working inside of showers, jumping out of his own Viper's pit, still getting the snappy flick on towards Texture. Gen G not able to find any headway whatsoever.
Incredible hold here from DRX, from Flashback on that showers end, preventing the pinch, making it ever so difficult to get a safe plant. It eventually went down thanks to the wingman, but not much else was found for Gen G. Early Molly being planned by Mako. He sees the thrash.
Sorry, Gen G लग रहा है
Molly as well. No follow. So much area denied, and you can't refresh that ultimate.
And Mako's just continuing to hold on the other end if they are trying to recollect onto it.
Oh,
on the hop.
Yeah, and the smoke on top of it as well. I gotta mention, give credit to Mako to peek out there against the Thrash. It's a risk, but that way it just can't come back. And now Gen G, they've got to turn tail. Flashback. He's got his eyes trained. DRX gaining information on the other side, but the most important thing is that operator. Hyunmin, can he hold on to showers? Flashback, can he make sure that he keeps his teammates safe? They're going to double up onto showers. Texture gets 1 kill. The turnaround! Hyunmin, he's quick enough. They're coming for him. Wants to isolate the 1v1s. Eventually he falls down to Foxy9, but Bane has filled the site. Dies to Foxy9. And now, Gen G, spike planted, 3v2 advantage. Orbital strike online for Karen, and he's still got that Molly as well.
भाई जेंजी मार देगा देख रहा हूं.
Bit more space. The tap goes through to bait out the orbital. And then for freeing to swing in.
He knows there's 2 in showers. Noted them both. Gets the 1v1. Not gonna be able to spray down. Mako gets the half now. 21 HP, and Munchkin with a nice swing out, trying to keep things close at 5-6.
Just a white swing. Able to play off of contact alongside Foxy9. That's how they hold down that shower. That's how they really close out that post-plant play. Working against DRX with their setup. I mean, finally figuring it out, right? This is how they have themselves set up.
Yeah, just a great read to go for this pinch. Texture getting way ahead of it, and that Dizzy, that has been one of the more impactful pieces of utility whenever they are actually ready for this execute. DRX, they've got good crossfires, but the Dizzy's really been keeping them at bay if they don't have the full rotate. Now a fast push out.
Come back, देख भाई.
Very early on in the half, but they will just
कितने लोगों के पास
not
अल्ट है?
willing to commit.
टेक्सचर के पास अल्ट है भाई. देख. वो 2 ऐसे ही कालेगा, एक अल्ट में कालेगा.
Push them onto that A site. But this time they say, okay, we're going to back off. We're going to make it look like we fast rotated. See if they bite back onto that B side. And Gen G, they're going to fall right for it.
स्प्लिट खेल रहे थे
going
यार
in. This is a trap. Oh, the shutdown from Yeoman does keep freeing alive. He's got that stun. He's busy checking both angles. Once again, no way, they're trapped. They have to flood the site. The Armageddon's coming for them. There's the flash, and that's going to be freeing Ad Bane. A perfect combo as they are able to shut down the entry. Yeoman caught on the smoke, and what a hold from freeing.
Turns back around just to mark down Belong, gets the kill, gets his Armageddon.
भाई आ जाओ DRX
Genji in the round. I mean, Genji, they had the read from the previous one, figuring out where Hyunmin was positioned, and that's where Texture adjusted his flight path. But this time, trying to use his showstopper,
सामने देखना
then he
भाई
gets shut down by DRX. I mean, can you believe just how strong these players are, being able to set themselves up, take players down mid-flight, and also to come back in for another kill to collect on the ult?
देख
What an impactful frag from Yeoman. It's just the one, but he shuts down
DRX
showstopper, which
है अभी टॉप पे
to freeing.
लेकिन जेंजी जो है ना भाई
वो
लेट आते थोड़ा
buy time for Bane. It's all a domino effect.
वो लोग थोड़ा लेट आते
See that from a
तो
duelist
तुम लोग ये
player
मत करो कि
where
भाई
you don't have to
नहीं
get
हो
all the
सकता
frags,
क्या
but the ones
समझे
you get are the most important in some of these rounds, and it's allowed DRX to stay up 7-5. Genji, their map pick
देख आरुष क्या बोला
is
देख
about the time that usually Genji will start to wake up, right? Second half of second map. We meme about it, but it's so true. They really take their time to download all the information.
भाई DRX
Then a
जीतेगा
couple
ना
timeouts come out. Munchkin starts to get the perfect
अभी ये वाला
read
मैच
against
है
their
ना
opponent.
इसके बाद जो स्टार्ट होगा ना मैच उसमें देखो भाई क्योंकि पिस्तौल राउंड में ना जेंजी देता ही है भाई लास्ट टाइम पे भी मैच में जो हुआ ना तुम लोग तो देखा होगा अभी रुको अभी जो स्टार्ट होगा ना वो वाला देखो
Trying to work around, or at least preventing them from getting that spike down, because if that spike does go down,
पहला वाला राउंड
that can come
जेंजी
into delay.
भाई गोस्ट ऐसी चलाते ना भाई
Same Viper setup from both
टेक्सचर
teams.
को देखा क्या कभी गोस्ट चलाते टाइम पे
Been a
भाई
long time since we've
अभी
seen
देखो
that Brim Viper as a desk mentioned. One of the few other teams. It's funny because one of the few other teams that use it in the world is
let's
Billy
start.
Billy, who has
DRX तो बहुत चर्चे
another
में है
historic FPS figure from Korea. So there's something
सबके
going
पास
around
गोस्ट
there.
है
But it's a fast
सिर्फ
push out
योमन
from
के
Genji,
पास ये है
eliminates the entire left side of the
क्लासिक
map.
So already aware of what is about to
देखते हैं
befall on towards the A site. It is just Yeoman here though. He's got
शॉट
the
ही इसके
shorty.
पास अच्छा
The question is does he get one or does he get two? He gets pushed out by the salvo. Maybe it's going to be neither.
Okay.
He's holding close,
Planting.
trying to get the spike planter,
अरे
but
भाई
not going to find an opportunity.
Plays it safe instead. Looks to reaggress in towards Lamps. The rest of the team, though, all noted on towards the other side. Trying to work their way in.
नहीं पीछे देख
Go through. Finds the right time when the iron is hot. 2 kills into his name. And down to just Foxy9 on the other end. Hyunmin will be able to collect on that last kill. It's a flawless pistol round for DRX.
मेरे को नहीं लगता भाई जेंजी हारेगी भाई
So patiently says I'll put up the
मेरे को
toxic
नहीं
screen.
लगता
They might
भाई
get into lamps
ये लोग
for free,
कमबैक
but
करेंगे मैं
we'll
वो
make sure
कमबैक
that
के
we
लिए
can shut
रुका
them
हूँ
down with
भाई
the spike. They noticed that Yeoman has a shorty. They're able to push him out, and then they're able to just chase through because they know the reload has to come through. It's so patient, but so step by step. I mean, there are hints of old DRX coming back, just given how clean some of these fights are.
Truly,
भाई
a lot of these
रुको
notes
ना
whiffs as well. I mean, DRX
अभी सेव राउंड है भाई जेंजी का
throughout the whole map.
जेंजी का है सेव राउंड
a
इसके बाद में
team effort
सब
overall.
खेलेंगे
Yes,
अभी कुछ
Hyunmin
नहीं
is freeing is leading on the kill feed right now, but we're seeing so many moments from all the rest
ठीक है
of them as
रुको
well.
सेव
This
राउंड है
time,
भाई सेव
he
राउंड
spoke
खत्म
up
होने दो
towards
फिर
Belong,
डिसाइड
trying to
करना
inch
अभी
up
मत
forward.
तुम ये करो भाई
So they heard the ult orb, so they know that Genji did have a member there, even if they don't get the full tags onto everybody with a 0 point. But the question is how many? Outlaw
होगा कमबैक होगा ना हाँ
finds one target, and Yeoman says, okay, we don't want to jump peek that anymore. But it's a 4-man
चल
stack from Genji. They will have to land that first
ले
shot
peek
high
ले
low from Texture
ऊपर
Yeoman, waiting for someone to get curious. He's got coverage with the Bulldog. Look at this, just cutting the pie one by one. It's going to be a full-out push-out from Genji with their util. Texture gets one with the Sheriff, but it's a reset. Hyunmin, he's caught off guard.
ओके 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 लो इसको भी लो ये रे इसको भी बहन
And they are able to gun
अरे
down
रुको
Yeoman,
यार
who's trying to pick up a weapon.
The
सब
nade from
घुसते
Hyunmin
पागल
was
के
just
ऐसा
perfect. Now it's just Karen on the side. Munchkin is stranded all the way across A. Karen pushes in, does get a nice little nutty right click, but that's it. Hyunmin ends him with a ghost. Munchkin down for the retake, 1-on-3 with just the classic. Maybe to dive to the spike.
अभी
maybe to
सेव
find
राउंड
one
हो गया
man.
अभी
No, it is the Genji classic, though.
Okay.
अभी सेव राउंड के बाद
Masters winning team.
अभी देखना भाई
Can recreate some of that magic.
Shield,
given
util,
the weaponry and
Vandal जब
util
आती
and
ना,
everything considered.
Ah.
I mean, DRX just literally has to not fight. All right, they just have to wait. All right, here comes, yep, Molly number 1. You still got that snake bite. Yep, there's Molly number 2. Now you found your target, and that's the kill for Freeing.
He was close. He was close to taking down Flashback.
He was, yeah, actually very, very low on that from Flashback. So Freeing coming in as the savior. So some armor taken off, but not much damage done. Outlaw and 2 Bulldogs carried over.
And can once again still see how effective.
अच्छा मेरे को एक बात बोलो, जो ये DRX कर रहे हैं ना, DRX के जब 13 पॉइंट होंगे तब जेनजी के कितने पॉइंट होंगे ये मेरे को बताओ। चलो, इतना कॉन्फिडेंस है ना तुमको तुम्हारी टीम के ऊपर, बताओ जब तुम्हारी टीम जीतेगी 13 पॉइंट कंप्लीट करके, तब हमारी टीम के कितने पॉइंट्स हो गए होंगे, कितने से हारेगी तुम्हारी टीम।
Forced to kind of push out, and then the paint shells through. Next round comes up, and once again we have this outlaw where Gen.G are, some of the players are in light shields.
भाई मैं सपोर्टर नहीं हूँ, बट जेनजी मेरे को लग रहा है अंदर से।
Meanwhile, Gen.G, not much information. Texture has to win this fight in bats if they want to hold on to any intel. That shower's given over. Stealth drone comes through, tries to get a tag close. Munchkin, he's gonna refill that smoke. He's got a judge in hand. He wants to make sure he can
पैसा है तभी भी जज लेना है तेरे को।
Freeing, he swings around for 3. Who can stop this guy? DRX getting onto the site. 5 members alive on their bonus. And only 2 for Gen.G.
Just spins around on a swivel, 2 inside of bats, 1 on the site.
Noob supporter.
How? And the round's instantly done. DRX now has reached double digits. Freeing is 1 point away from his ult.
Oh, I mean, Freeing is just... what a crazy pickup. Let's talk about that. I mean, he's been around since the beginning ages of Korea. For the Valorant scene, hopping around the Challenger scene here and there. Pops off for anyone who followed Challengers Korea last year on that D+Kia team. Then goes over to help out for Ascension China. And now he gets picked up, finally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And these are the numbers he's putting up on Teo, on every single map. I mean, what a
बोलो ना कितने राउंड से हारेगी, 13 से कितना, और इसके पहले जो DRX हाकी है उसका क्या? इसके पहले के मैच में जो हाका है DRX ने उसका क्या? अभी इसके बाद में डिसाइडर है भाई।
Feeling like a very practiced DRX map. Gen.G of course trying to get their heals working alongside their composition.
देखते हैं भाई, कोई बात नहीं, कोई बात। आज का है डिफरेंट।
Light shields once again.
बोलो 13 होंगे तब कितने हो जाएंगे हमारे? वो भी बोलो कितने से हारा होगा?
Armageddon.
I mean, he's doing everything. He's clearing zones. He's anchoring on defense. He's getting trades. He's entering from showers.
चल ले भैया, टेक्सचर मेरे को तेरे पे भरोसा है भाई।
Just a ridiculous.
बाकी सब भाड़ में गए।
For the initiator here, one of the initiators for DRX alongside Bane, both of them doing so much work. But as you mentioned, Gen.G, they get some information on B, and now they're going to go for a quick rotate instead of the...
Munchkin yaar!
Swings around! Munchkin not able to win that duel! Gen.G, where has the magic gone?
DRX
now getting free entry into the site. There is nobody. The stun sent to delay. Painters and the Molly not going to be able to do work here. And that's going to be DRX waiting with Armageddon in hand.
Armageddon, snake bites, fragments, and everything to hold as well. The Armageddon gets sent through towards backside, pushes Foxy9 all the way out. He does take down Mako, so maybe a slim chance for Gen.G now as they flood on in. They're looking for a little bit more space. Foxy9 takes down yet another, but Hyunmin and Flashback goes in for yet another. The Wingman not able to complete on the defuse. It's just Flashback now, trying to delay as much as possible. Down to 18 HP, hops on the boxes, but gets shut down by Texture. Gen.G will take the defuse.
And if this is the start of something new for Gen.G, it once again starts with Foxy9, just as it did against RRQ. He gets ahead, he finds a sliver of space away from the Armageddon, and he sneaks on through, finds the gun barrel of Mako, and he starts the defuse, gets half, and he's opening up space for his team. I mean, we've talked about how he's so good when he's anchoring, when he's waiting for kills, but this time he finally creates space for the team, and you can see what it meant for him in that round.
Yeah, last week he was holding angles, but now if he's able to create space, if he's able to take things into his own hands, that would mean a lot for Gen.G. If this is truly the start of something new. If Foxy9 truly is getting his head into the game, that would mean so much. But also, they have to hold DRX on the attack. There is a judge in play with Munchkin inside of Hookah.
Yeah, Yeoman also positioned to potentially jump in Duke as well. This time he's going to wrap back around. They want to reposition, holding close, but it's 3 members. Yeah, Gen.G, you got to make up your mind here. Because holding close, that's a risky play as well. Munchkin gets tagged right inside the smoke.
Tag मत हो रे Munchkin.
His way around all those bullets. No
अगर जब से
Still alive. Texture still pushing out outside of bats. With
देखो
the
वापस
options,
जा रहा.
getting a lot of info as well for Genji.
बेटा तो मरना सिर्फ.
Still holding with that judge. 0 point.
मत जा रे. Left में है
Look at the
वो.
position he's holding. He's in the center of the smoke early
उधर
on, so
से
he
मार.
doesn't get spammed through. Now holding an angle. He doesn't have an exit out of here. Texture. Oh, Hyunmin does catch Munchkin. Just on a little bit of a peek, it seems. Texture, meanwhile, holding against Bane. That's a good shot. But right now, look at the members of DRX. We've still got gun down. Texture immediately regroups with his team. Spike going down. Yeoman, a next shot to keep them at bay. Do they know the position of Hyunmin? Showstopper in hand. If he gets one more kill, it's the showstopper around the corner. Yeoman guns him down. Opens up a chance for Genji on the retake flashback, long range battles. Showstopper Texture sends it just misses the window. Flashback somehow guns him down right to the railing.
Flashback down है. कोई बात नहीं.
Now 2v2, flashback very low. Repositioning all the way around B-main. Free has to buy time with the salvo. There it comes. Does he stick the half? He does. Yeoman, he's gonna take the hit. Foxy Knight can't win the duel! And DRX will swing around to make 11.
The swinging full for the whole post plant. There you have it. All of that utility. Freeing just hiding inside the elbow the entire time. Completely undetected. I mean, the initial kills we're starting to see now on both sides, both teams. They're taking and showing off a lot more individual fragging ability, right? Yeoman going out, getting a lot of that space, just trying to create a little bit more for his team. But down to it at the end as well. Unfortunately,
Decider बाकी है मेरे भाई.
Get the frag, but Free was right there sitting alongside with the utility.
Hyunmin still has that showstopper. You've got no command as well. It could be a fast hit. Everyone grouped around the A site here from DRX. Genji, they have an inkling of it, but they just don't have the weaponry. They have to double up. Are they going to try to stand fight? Texture, this is a risky position. Surely they expected. There's the pop flash, but he tries to hide in. But Hyunmin already through. Texture is still somehow getting behind enemy lines. Now they've swapped positions. Do they have any idea where Texture has gone? Freeing wants to find out. Nightfall trying to distract, but Freeing from behind. Catches sight of Texture. It's going to be the stun to keep him at bay. His teammates trying to hold back sight. It's just an all-out brawl, but eventually it is just Texture, and Flashback will secure match point for DRX.
Just Texture alive is just so rough for Genji. A tough situation to be in, but ultimately one completely created at the hands
Decider
of
बाकी है भाई.
DRX, their composition. I mean,
इसके बाद में होगा
Texture tried to
Decider.
push ahead of the smoke, and he managed to do just that. But while all of that happens, the rest of DRX have managed to swarm all across the site. And once they get that spike down, they have all the utility to work off of, but also all of their players into positions where they're effectively able to block off the rest of Genji from coming into range of the retake. So that's now match point. A possible 2-0 at their hands. They might just make it into the upper finals this way.
I mean, no matter which team goes up, another Korean derby awaiting one of these teams against T1 in the upper finals to try to get to Masters Bangkok. So many players and coaching staff intertwined amongst these three Korean powerhouses. But right now, all eyes on Genji. Have they fallen from grace?
Genji
As
nahi
they
hai,
were
wo
one of the
Genji
strongest
hai,
looking teams of
Genji.
2024 going into champions. And then they get shut down in the group stage by absolute powerhouses from the West. And now scrambling to try to rediscover just some of that magic from last year.
वो Decider.
You really can't imagine that this would be happening right
1-1
now.
हो गया है भाई.
Genji has been given
इसके
us,
बाद में
giving
जो
us
होगा
great
वो Decider
performances
होगा,
all
ठीक है?
throughout. I mean, even in the off season, they're sticking
मुंह
to
क्यों छुपाते
some of
रहे ये
their
लोग?
classic compositions. They've
दिखाओ जरा
been
मुंह भाई.
pushing
अपने IPL में कैसे रहते
full
लड़की लोग?
distances all across the maps like
इसमें क्यों
Haven,
मुंह छुपाते
but
क्या
down
मानो?
towards it where DRX are finally showing off new agents, new compositions.
Oh
Suddenly,
my.
they're not quite able to break through. Next round comes up and DRX are looking to break through the smokes.
Yeah, they just had him locked down right in the middle of the lane with the way the salvos were.
Ball
And
bang
Genji, their
dena.
top guard, Yeoman, he does get away with his life. Karon has that orbital strike, so if he can stay alive in Hookah, this could be big for Genji. But we'll see as Flashback waiting for that curiosity to peek out, watching his back, making sure that the rest of the team can come through. A full wraparound from DRX. This is going to be a hard read. Flashback even gets the kill on the peak. They don't even know if the wraparound has happened just just yet. The orbital strike gone. Munchkin, he throws out the snake bite. Is it going to be enough? It delays him long enough. Gets ahead of the blast pack. But Mako still going to go for the trades.
चल निकल
Now
सकता
a
Texture.
2v1, but look at the health. Mako down to 7 HP. Texture trying to find a timing. Hyunmin's watching him. Texture flicks up against Mako. Orbital strike online. There's a jump up. The right clicks. It's going to keep Gen.G alive.
You gotta watch that replay in slow-mo. You have to.
No match end, bro.
Upwards flick.
Hello,
That
perfect
was an
guy.
incredible
Hello.
position from Hyunmin. Not an easy shot to land, but Texture
Hello,
does
Panda
it
bhai.
anyway. And then
Kaise
because
ho?
of that, Mako low HP.
All good?
Oh my God,
पढ़ाई हो गई
Texture,
क्या?
you beast, you
इसको थोड़ा
animal.
नीचे लूं क्या मैं?
Just a crazy round for Gen.G to hold with all of their efforts. The snake bite, the toxic screen to hold and fend them off. But DRX still managed to break through.
Wow, Mako just forcing his way onto that site as well. But it's going to come down to Texture. The nice flick, the nice movement. You can tell he's locked in. No time to celebrate right now. They have a long way to go. 5 more rounds to catch up against DRX. This time Foxy9 trapped with the Thrash to try to counteract any sort of utility towards A short.
DRX slows things down. A little bit of Bath's control though. Flashback creeping in alongside Hyunmin towards the back. It's just some outlaws.
Ultimate मारो जरा.
Gen.G.
कितने अल्ट है अपने पास?
Control of Bats, which is huge.
भाई 2 अल्ट है भाई.
Gen.G
2 अल्ट
wants
में
to
तुम्हारा
reclear
काम
this if at all.
टाटा बाय बाय तुम.
They post Hyunmin with the Outlaw. It's always going to be that backup plan through that TP if needed. Spike already coming through over to
कल भी
the A
करना है
side.
मेरी टीम का
Gen.G
मैच है.
not afraid. Whoa,
3
Munchkin
दिन
down
भाई.
to 10 HP. That's going to
तुम्हारी
call
कौन सी टीम है
Foxy9
फेवरेट
away from that Thrash usage. Do they spend
आया
it here?
D10 हो
Yes,
गए
they
भाई.
do. Going into showers. Tries to launch it, but it
क्या
gets taken
स्टॉप
down.
किए भाई
A
उसको.
little bit expensive for Gen.G already. Still though, trying to tag that
Nice.
Yeoman. Will be able to take down Freeing. Out towards the other side, Mako alone by A short.
भारी मारा उसने.
Manages to work against Munchkin. There's that Bat's control then. Able to kind of swing through. The smoke deep enough. Trying to hold them off, but unfortunately not enough. Mako only able to take down another. Texture goes down to him. Foxy9 off to the other end, trying to hold off the Bat's play, but Mako comes back in to re-aggressing the Labs. Orbital strike at the ready, and he sends it through. Foxy9!
He gets that kill,
Nice.
shuts him down, Spike down as well. Just a brilliant dance around Labs.
भाई Sentinels
From the
भाई
new
इसकी
pickup
टीम
of
में
Gen.G,
10
Bane
Tens,
trying to
tens.
find out where the last member is. He finds Foxy9 looking the other way. Spike picked up only 10 seconds left on the clock. 0 point. Doesn't sense Charon nearby. Charon's going to go for the wraparound. Can he find the position? Oh no, it's just a Guardian. It's a 1v1, and Bane will get taken down. Gen.G extend the match one more time.
They keep themselves going.
कल
Down
नहीं
to the
आना,
hair,
आज ही
and they
आना.
keep fighting. So many kills, so many fights. Mako almost made it impossible, but Karen swings it right back. Still though, throughout the entire round, I mean,
मजा आ
DRX
गया
are
भाई.
building up on
मजा आ
some
गया.
tiny advantages. I mean, Freak
कैसा
picked up
आ
the
रहा भाई,
ball for him, and
कैसा
I
आ
gotta
रहा.
imagine he's keeping
Guardian
that
जो
for
आ
some
रहा
future
है.
rounds.
Yeah, I mean, again, they just
वो
need
गेको
that
पागल
one
निकला
extra round.
साला.
And we've seen quite a couple from the
गेको
likes of
फुकट
Freak
में
so
free
far
kill
on
दे
this
दिया
map.
उसको.
But now you got the likes of Foxy9 starting to wake up, starting to get these fights he so loves. You know, the 1v2s around boxes where you can just dance back and forth, pick out the 1v1s.
हाँ भाई.
Starting to get
अपने
that
एस की
confidence to
वीडियो
push through
रिलीज हो
once
गई
again.
भाई. रिलीज हो गई कि
Gen.G,
अपलोड
but
हो
they're
गई?
not in the initiative. They're not
अभी
in the
upload हो
driving
गई
seat.
क्या वो?
They're on that defense. Texture this time.
शेड्यूल किया था
Having the
उसको.
smoke. It's very forward. DRX has
मेरा
an inkling of
कद्दू
it.
से
There's a
नहीं होगा
showstopper.
इनका
It does
काम.
take down the Viper, and he stays alive for the time being, but it's a spray down from DRX. The crossfire, good. Hyunmin and Mako each getting a kill.
The spray down noting
हो जाएगा,
additional
हो जाएगा.
support for
चलो,
Texture as well. So
Charon.
that's 2 players down for Gen.G. That could truly hurt them in the long run. Munchkin has the Viper spit, but way too far to deploy it.
And look at Foxy9. This time he takes the initiative. Says, all right, I'll close in. I'll clear. Make sure that they're not rotating. Charon, just try to hold them at
ये
bay.
कम था
Because
जो
I'll
smoke
try
दे
to hit
दिया.
them from behind. We'll see if he finds the right
चलो
time.
1
because
मिनट बाकी
DRX,
है.
they're creeping in. They're going to pop out perhaps with a double. Bane's already in the smoke. They know that nobody is hiding close. Foxy9 finds one. He's waiting for the other. Where are they coming from? He's already ahead of it. A double kill on the
Nice.
flank from Foxy9. Munchkin holding it off angle. He sees the gun barrel.
चल और एक हो गया.
Free. You've had so many moments. The swing out, and Charon lands it. 3 in a row. 3 more to
भाई कभी कमबैक हो गया ना भाई. मजा ही आ जाएगा भाई.
Still able to fight.
अच्छा.
Despite losing some of these
कैसी है
numbers.
दक्ष? कैसे
Like
था
you
अपना?
mentioned,
इस
Foxy9 takes the initiative. It was early chaos
मस्त
because
मारा
of
भाई.
Showstopper, and unfortunately then a bit of a numbers
बहुत प्यारा.
disadvantage for Gen.G. But through
Hey,
all
जाओ
of that,
इसको.
Foxy9 emerges from the shadows, up from behind, and backstabs DRX.
And Foxy9 trying to bring up the energy now, having that confidence, knowing that he was able to make that crack and open up a little bit of room, forcing the timeout out of his former coach Termi. On the other side, first timeout for DRX.
ठीक है ना, ठीक है ना, कोई बात नहीं.
That's
हुआ तो
what they're
सही ना
looking
भाई.
at. There's 3 chances. It doesn't have to be the next one, but it has to be the perfect one, as Gen G has now caught up with the momentum.
Talking about the alt cycles as well.
Sweat pad है भाई, वो sweat pad.
Is roughly about
Sweat
2
pad
or
है
3
वो.
away from his thrash, and that could be really effective for Gen G. But right now,
यार दक्ष कभी तो यार
that's the
तू
timeout.
छोटी
You
वेट
really
करते जा
gotta
यार,
imagine
हमेशा
what DRX
डी
can
छोटी वेट
cook up.
करता है
They
यार.
are on the defense, sure, but again, they're building up to some really valuable ultimates. The Armageddon,
अरे आज
maybe,
नया
especially
सेटअप.
on the
अरे
attack.
भाई मेरा एक ही घर है भाई, कहाँ नया सेटअप ब्रो?
This could be deadly.
सिर्फ ये एंगल से
So
तुमको
one
ये
more
एंगल दे
timeout on
दिया.
the board as well for DRX if they feel
वैसे
that
अच्छा
they
लगा
need
मेरे
an
को तुमने
emergency,
ये चीज
but
बोली
the
तो.
ults lined up. The buy's not quite there. I gotta imagine that you see
चलो,
these ults
don't get
for the
into
next
my
round.
way.
For now it's just the salvos. Pit comes up. Gen G not taking any chances. Going to be Munchkin holding close. Has been tagged. There's
Yeoman
another
के पास भी
Pit,
ult है.
stealth drone as well. Showers given over. Texture's holding on top of the box, so they say,
Rotate
you know
bro.
what, let's not die far forward because we have the weapon advantage.
तीन ult है
But
इन लोग
we
के पास.
still need somebody to watch the backs of Munchkin. So it's gonna be this one way with a nice vertical angle for Texture lined up. Foxy9 there to spot as they
देखते हैं ना
already
भाई.
have Charon watching from afar on B main.
Potential dizzy as well if push comes to shove. But
उनको लगा होगा यहाँ पे कोई
Viper's
नहीं.
Pit a little bit too oppressive. So
Gecko निकल
they
गया
are
देखो उधर.
starting to explore other parts of the map. Bane at least. All
Foxy
inside
इधर आ गया.
showers though.
DRX, they recognize, okay, you've given this up. Now they got to figure out where could the backup be, because surely they're not leaving Munchkin all alone, but they're going to send a fake over to B as well to make sure it's a numbers advantage. Try to get the trades, try to surround Munchkin in that pit. Poison Orb comes back up. KO trying to show himself
अभी घुसेंगे
over
भाई,
in
अभी
hookah.
घुसेंगे.
Foxy9 debating, do I go for the rotate? It's on a timer. Texture just going to throw the paint shells for delay once that Poison Orb perhaps starts to dissipate. There it
20
is.
seconds.
20 seconds left. There's the flash over by B. There's the fake by Foxy9 already over to the A side. Texture goes for it. Foxy9 lines him up. Gets
दो
him
ले
to
लिया
the
ना
other
भाई.
side, goes down, but no weapons picked up just yet. Hyunmin's already through on the site, but only 10 seconds to plan. Hyunmin finds a nice timing on the jiggles back and forth.
नहीं, plan नहीं.
He's gonna sprint through. He knows he don't have audio. He's closing in on his target. He finds the kill. Can he stick the defuse? They're looking for Hyunmin.
एक
all left
नंबर.
alone as he is caught in the crossfire, and Gen G may just have what it takes as he get up to 10.
They've closed in the distance, 10 to 12. It is possible, but you gotta keep in mind DRX's ultimates for the next round. They've drawn out quite a
मजा आ
number
गया.
of ultimates from Gen G. You know, it wasn't
Oh,
Nightfall,
भाई.
it was the Viper's Pit as well.
Yeah, curious to see DRX. You use these ultimates just to gain ground. Do you use it for the site execute? And that's what Gen G is going to be discussing right now as this replay is going out. How do we avoid this ultimate? The just absolute blast coming in, Armageddon, showstopper, no command. You're gonna have to empty
कुछ
the
fire
site,
भी है
and that's
नहीं
what
भाई.
Tyrus is gonna want you to
है
do, but you don't want to
बाजू.
give it for free, because then they'll have it all for the post plant. Pit ready as well for flashback. Gen G looking to take out the showstopper first. Texture, that's his one mission. Needs to take out the
Angles
raise.
clear है.
If you can shut down the speed, then
अभी
you can
दूसरा
empty
angle
it.
clear
Armageddon
करेंगे.
comes through. He doesn't have a way out. He's flashed. He's caught. Showstopper lands. Gen G now fighting from showers.
नहीं,
It's a
नहीं,
nice
नहीं, नहीं.
nuclear crash
आहा.
coming in from the TP. It's a crossfire, and what a call from Munchkin as they clean up the site. And Gen G will get to the very doorsteps of overtime.
One more round for that so much coveted overtime for Gen G. They set themselves all up for it. The call from Munchkin, although Texture might not have been able to find that opening shot against Hyunmin, the rest of the team were still able to come in quick enough to set up that crossfire. Out from pass, out from backside, and what a flick from Karen to do it all.
Oh, you can see, Texture's actually touched by this. He's almost tearing up. And there's that emergency timeout.
Gen G,
Use
Gen
your
G.
ultimates. Couldn't get on the site. What a call. Draws all the attention to showers. You know, we were joking about it, but Gen G, they wake up when they most need it. And now
Sponsorship
DRX
क्या है? कौन से sponsorship क्या है
scratching
भाई?
their heads, seeing why they just can't close out that one extra round.
चलो चलो अभी
5 rounds in a row.
एक राउंड मांगता सिर्फ भाई जेनजी
Make it 6, momentum on their
तुमने
side for
बहुत सही
overtime.
काम किया भाई
And then another map.
और गाइस
They really make
अगर
you
कम
believe
बैक
in
हो गया
that
ना भाई
magic.
तो एमलेस तेरे को बताऊंगा भाई
This map
जो
has
तू जब
already
से
felt so drastic.
कर रहा है ना DRX
Working against DRX's composition.
RDX लाऊंगा
Managed to
तेरे
pull themselves this far. Out with the calls, out with the adjustments, they've managed to crack the code. All that stands between them is
उनके बाजू में
3
जो
more
ट्यूबलाइट है ना वो
rounds
ट्यूबलाइट
post
चाहिए यार
overtime.
मेरे को देखो नियॉन कलर की ट्यूबलाइट रहती पता है क्या
Can they do it?
देखो उनके बाजू में ट्यूबलाइट है
The Masters and taking the
कर
rough
दो
path
DRX मेरा
all the
फायर
way
पे
to victory. Gen G
चलो
going for the Outlaws, saying you don't have armor across the board here.
अल्ट नहीं है बहन
Now trying to land the shots. Texture has to back out, but it is going to be a full stack. They already tagged 2 here with the stealth throw. Salvo's immediately going out. Fragment as well. DRX, they have no signs of stopping, but there's the flash. Shummin just can't quite get out. Free.
एक नंबर
Good for a quick 2. There's the crossfire. Munchkin with a double to his name.
हो गया ना भाई हो गया ना ओवरटाइम
G fans finally find the energy to cheer as it lands on a 3v1 as Gen G look to take us to overtime. Flashback. Fighting so many targets, and they will not give him this fight.
Last round, might as well use the pit. Tries to collect back on the spike, but oh, there's Sortie right underneath.
Gets the spike, and he gets out. All right. An extension on.
ए भाई तू जेनजी वाला है ना
One
जेड भाई तू
chance
जेनजी वाला है ना
to go up 2-0 and get revenge.
Perfect
from
भाई
last
जो
year's
आपकी
kickoff
सब्सक्राइबर आर्मी
to
है उनका
send
नाम
Gen
क्या
G to
होगा
the lowers.
यार मैंने
Get
अभी
one
तक
step
सोचा नहीं भाई
closer to that first Masters tournament.
He's got to position himself after planting the spike somewhere.
30 seconds left.
What's the call? Trying to wait.
अकेला डिफेंड कर रहा
Still
भैया
20 seconds. He's just not sure if there's anybody who's already rotated. He's gonna show his back. He's been caught, but he will try to stick it. 20 seconds. Gen G gonna try to play the numbers, but now it's a guessing game once again.
That was just one rifle. He doesn't know that there's 2.
Now pushing in. Yeoman down to 10 HP. Finds Foxy! As it starts with Foxy 9 and it ends with him as he brings Gen G across to overtime.
Overtime shall begin. And all at the hands of Gen G, who have clawed, ran, crawled all the way across 6 rounds.
किधर है DRX
Just for this moment. Surely they find 2 more rounds to end it
DRX
and to push us
भाई
into the
DRX
3rd
किधर है
map.
काहे तू
DRX
जीते
looking
मेरा
as if they
DRX
were running out of steam. They started to just full send it
जेनजी
through.
या लेट्स गो
the
ये
edges
जेनजी
of
जीतेगी भाई देखते हैं ना भाई देखते हैं ना भाई
Wow, going into overtime, neither team using their new
अभी हो
timeouts.
गया
Each team
overtime
gets one.
हमें
Refresh,
मेहनत
both coaches
होता
having
तुम्हें
faith
अभी
in
हारी
the
भी ना
first round
तभी
of
कम नहीं
OT. Foxy 9 now suddenly
कभी
climbing up
कम
to
नहीं
21 kills. Freeing's been stopped at 25. And Gen G now on the attack. They're
अरे
back
इनको
in the
क्या
driving
जेनजी
seat.
नकली लगे क्या
They're
भाई
looking for a push out from DRX.
Starting things off a little bit careful. There's that 0 point though, but ultimately avoided by Karen.
रैड बड़ी है इसके पास योमन के पास
Just going to be no signs from DRX. Stealth drone coming out on a timing.
सही कॉम्बिनेशन यूज करते हैं भाई कंटिन्यू 6 राउंड जीते भाई ओपी
Not clear information here for DRX, and that's going to call Bane back over to that B site, but the spike, it's slow creeping towards there, and they're ready for it. The smoke goes down.
एक तुम्हारा एक हमारा
Yeah, no more Viper for Gen G, but they'll be ready. Paint shells now from both raises, trying to just delay.
दोनों ने नेड यूज कर लिया अपना अपना
Been doing his best. Trying to stay alive
ओके
back
यूटिल
beside
तो
the rest of
भाई
the team, though. Working on
इसका ये
room
अटक गया
evidence will
प्राउलर
spawn. Thinking of re-clearing lamps, but the spike not yet planted, so they're thinking, where could they
उसको पता
really
चल
be?
गया
Buying time for Free to come in with a flank, and there it is, the shot against Foxy 9.
Texture still holding true. There's Showstopper, but gets shut down for Bane. Karon holding by bench. Karon now all alone. A 1v2. He needs to land this shot, and Mako, the IGL of DRX, brings them back in the lead.
Just all the way through it, buying a little bit of time, just enough for Mako to get in place as well. They have the sights surrounded, and although Gen G
कोई बात
managed to
नहीं
kind of
कोई बात
creep
नहीं
and break their way
गाइस
through after the poison cloud
ओवर
dissipated,
टाइम है भाई अभी इसके बाद
still
भी और
was
एक मैच
DRX
है
who were able to work alongside the team efforts. really get into the site.
Now Mako just standing tall, standing true as that captain. Really growing into the veteran shoes. Now both teams fighting for energy.
अरे रुक जरा, तू क्या बोलता, उस पे ही रहता भाई.
Well, one of the coaches didn't like that.
अच्छा टाइम आउट लिया है भाई.
We'll see if that
टाइम
changes
आउट
at
लिया है
all.
भाई. 1 मिनट रुको, 1 मिनट में लेते हैं तुमको प्यार से, बड़े आराम से.
You want to pull out that last card. Try to shut things down.
देख अगर अभी जेनजी जीत गया ना तो फिर तुम लोग घर पे जाने का भाई डायरेक्ट, ठीक है. और अगर जेनजी हार गया तो तुमको और एक चांस. कुछ गलत नहीं है भाई. जेनजी हारा तभी है, जीता तभी है. जीता तो है ही है और हारा तभी है, ठीक है.
Jeremy trying to stay calm, but Glow, you can see the anxiety. Head in his hands, trying to keep calm.
I mean, truthfully,
DRX back in
doesn't
business.
have to deal with this
Okay.
much. Yes, they are close to possibly closing out the map, but if they do lose it, it's not the worst thing in the world. Gen G must be
देखते
feeling
कितना बिजनेस करती है
a
तुम्हारी
lot more
DRX.
anxiety, as they are the ones
या फिर
facing,
खाता खुलने से पहले ही घर पे जाते हैं.
possibly getting knocked into the lower bracket after this.
ओवर टाइम हुआ है भाई.
Possibly
ओवर
losing
टाइम
it.
में क्या इतना बोल नहीं सकते
Yeah,
भाई.
I mean,
कुछ भी हो
Gen G,
सकता है.
obviously, sure, we joke about how much they go through the lower bracket and they're
चलो,
able to come
start.
back out on top, but you never want to go down to your last life. And DRX all crowded around, seeing if there is a push out. Meanwhile, yeah, they did call the operator off from Youngmin, so it's just on Texture, who's actually watching Hookah, a little bit unconventional. Stealth drone coming in. They should hear it coming out of showers. Foxy9 just gonna shut that down. Munchkin, meanwhile, holding close on the smoke.
एक चीज नोटिस करी तुम लोगों ने, सब साथ में
He's
रहते
gonna get
हैं.
caught on the salvos here. He needs to get the trade, but Foxy9 actually swings around. But Yudman sprays out for 2 as well. It's a 2-for-2 trade. But meanwhile, a numbers advantage for DRX as they stand together on the site.
Op गांड मार, अरे op क्यों ले रहा भाई?
It's an operator for Texture. He needs to find the pick. Will DRX give him an opportunity?
हाँ, एक नंबर.
Does that call for a
तू
trade?
घुस, तू
Does
घुस.
that call for a peek out? Texture just wants one target. They know where one
Texture
is.
left
And
में
Texture
है.
has an inkling that he needs to push a different angle. Mako gets picked off by the operator. 2v1. Sees, caught, now noted. Yo, man, trying to find the kill. The stun comes out. There are the salvos. Now, everything already spent. Texture is holding close. Freeing should know this. And Texture with the peek out. We go again.
Texture had the op in a retake, but still played it calm and cool enough to get into position.
Perfect,
They worked
OP,
together as a
entertaining,
duo. The
boring
game plan
nights
was
every
right
day.
there.
Thank you so
Yeoman
much,
to push
bye.
out
Thank
lamps,
you so
flush
much.
player out of position, and they
कलाना,
really have it.
अरे
At the same
कद्दू
time,
कला
all starts in the
मेरा
hands of
भाई.
Foxy9 though.
ऐसा ही थोड़ी
The
खेलते
player
हैं वो
who
लोग.
formerly
अब
of
कितना
DRX
मारा
now
उसको जाने
so
को,
hungry
कैसा
to
भाई.
show up against his former coach on the other end.
Woo!
You can tell it's getting
अरे
late.
गाली काहे को
Viewing
देता,
party slowly
headphones
emptying
नहीं
out, but
पहने
some
रे.
fans still
अच्छा.
holding on to see if they can see
Sorry,
the
sorry
true
भाई,
ending
sorry.
of this story. The rivalry
तुम्हारे
between
भाई
these two
किधर है वैसे?
teams. Now tied at
पांडा?
13-13. Gen G still
मत
has
डाल, मत
timeout,
डाल.
but holding on to it on their attacking round. Boombot already spent here for Hyunmin. No operator in his hand, just a Vandal.
सिर्फ वैंडल है भाई अभी.
Just trying to
5
wait,
वैंडल
drawing
वर्सेस
out
5
a lot
वैंडल.
of this active info
आओ.
until they group up.
Just flashback outside of lamps.
Going
एक
to be a full 5 step.
दो.
3 members of DRX on the B site. See.
ये कौन है पीछे हाथ ऊपर
Trying to
करके
get
रुका
ahead of
है?
it. Takes a little bit of a tag.
मुंशिन, अच्छा
Some of
वाइपर.
that coming back up through the decay. He gets chased
अच्छा,
down by that
एक मिल
distance.
गया,
That's
एक
the
मिल
safe
गया.
one, just to try to delay, but it's not going to find too much value. The salvo to see if they can
एक
get a
नंबर.
double up kill. But here comes the wingman going
Plant.
to plant as Foxy9 guards
Plant
the
हो गया
double
भाई.
and the spike
अभी
goes
तुम
down.
तुम्हारी
Position taken.
देख लो भाई,
Meanwhile,
तुम
look at
तुम्हारी
Munchkin
कंपनी
just
देख लो.
waiting for a flank around.
हमारा
They
तो
don't
हो
want to
गया.
get caught by freeing. They're well ahead of it, but he's coming all the way back around defender spawn. Gen G, that post plant util. You still got that molly, you still got the mosh pit, and what a swing out from DRX. It's all members, but the spray down from Yeoman. Again, a double kill here in overtime. It's going to be the defuse coming through. It's just right outside. Molly's gonna land. Eventually, it will take them off, but Mako pushes forward. 1v2. Karon antes the flash. He needs to get the kill. He gets one. Mom goes off of it, but he lands the shot, and the defuse will come through for DRX.
Sticks it down to half and then comes back in to support his
मजा
team.
आ रहा है भाई,
That's
कुछ ही बोलो भाई,
teamwork right
मजा आ रहा है
there
भाई
for
ये लोगों
DRX.
ने.
Just being able to work alongside each other, right? Yeah, you got the info. Flashback kind of sensed that something was up. Sent the snake.
Round end होने तक entertain है भाई पूरा. Round end
was
होने तक
able to
भाई.
line both of those up, but ultimately what really broke things off was Mako
Sexy
alongside
रे
the rest of
भाई,
DRX
sexy.
pushing all the way up, especially with freeing as well.
ये मैच DRX को मारना ही पड़ेगा भाई, नहीं तो डायरेक्ट बाहर है भाई.
Down to some of these moments, starting to buckle. Can this really be the third overtime for Genji with Textron and up again?
Yeah, still holding that hookah line. Foxy9 probably wondering what could have changed if he had landed that mosh pit, but you don't have time for that right now. You have to focus on this round coming up, round 28. And DRX, they cut noise. Same thing, but Munchkin lands a clean shot. That's the toxic screen gone. A nice trade from Yeoman.
हम तुम्हारा एक लेंगे, तुम हमारा एक ले सकते
No
हो.
wingman, no mosh pit, no Dizzy, notably. And DRX will start to creep towards the plant. Munchkin will clear out showers. They will have a retake opportunity for Genji. Prowler clears close. Now 3 members closing in. Question is Freeing's position. Still has that salvo with so little health. He's just going to wait for that util. Stealth drone is going to be the front man here for DRX. His texture just leads. He's being tagged. He peeks out with that operator. Mako gets a nice clean shot. 2, 3! And it's going to be DRX telling Genji that no kings will rule eternally in Korea.
It happened once before, but down to the overtime, DRX, they come out on top again. Just finding all these little moments back and forth. Munchkin had a nice little angle on towards the elevated spot, but at the end of it all, once again, Mako! He finds the 4K, he finds multi-kills on multi-kills, both maps across.
There's something about this guy. When they get pushed to the edge here on Bind, we saw it against Paper X last year in the lower bottom of stage 2. Now, when they now wanted to rise up, not just stay alive, but rise forward and go forward towards Masters Bangkok, the leader, the newfound leader, now a veteran, comes back to save the day, and DRX will move on to the upper finals to meet T1.
You gotta love it.
कोई
Facing
बात
off against
नहीं.
T1, that would be another banger match as well. But
अबे,
right now,
एक और मैच
DRX,
बाकी है
they've
ना.
got to revel in this glory. What a hard-fought victory. Down to the
एक और
second
मैच
map.
बाकी है ना,
It took a
Genji
little
एक
pressure
जीता.
off, especially with the timeout as well.
DRX एक जीता
But
ना.
with the final moments coming through, I mean, again, you saw the individual effort. You saw the team effort. You saw Mako coming back in.
Just a great showing, especially enduring that type of overtime here for some of these new rookies here on DRX. Great experience, and DRX continues to level up these young talents here in Korea.
यार फोटो निकालने आते हैं लोग क्या?
2대0 승리입니다. 이 경기로 저는 다시 한번 깨달았습니다. 그동안 내가 해왔던 것 발로란트가 아니었구나 싶은데요. 일단 승리팀 DRX의 베인 선수 만나보도록 하겠습니다. 베인. Congratulations, Spain. 2-0 against Genji. W.
चलो अभी हम आते हैं वैलोरेंट पे. मजा आया वैसे. आ जाओ गाइस, वैलोरेंट में आ जाओ यार. दोनों मैच डीआरएक्स जीता है नूब भाई. ये बहुत भाई, ये होस्ट तो बहुत क्यों नहीं रे. नल्ली थी वो होस्ट, नल्ली थी वो. अरे यार तूने हेडफोन नहीं. नेक्स्ट मैच 10:30 बजे है ना. अब बैठकर पॉपकॉर्न खा आराम से भाई. 6 बजे इसके बाद की जो मैच है ना, तभी खाएंगे हम 10:30 बजे. समझा क्या? ना बुंड बुंड बजे, बुंड बुंड बजे. तब बैठकर चोको का
हेलो परफेक्ट भाई, टीम में
अच्छा
आज मजा आया।
किसमें मजा आया?
अभी जेंजी ने जो हगा है।
वॉच पार्टी देखी
मेरी
क्या
जान,
तुम?
मेरी
पूरा देखा
जान
मैंने।
भाई,
जेंजी क्या हगा है।
मेरी जान भाई, देख रहे क्या DRX मेरी जान भाई, DRX मेरी जान है।
अरे भाई
ऐसा
कोई
कोई ना,
नहीं कोई नहीं, कोई बात नहीं कोई बात नहीं। शाम में किसकी है भाई?
लगातार 2 मैच जीता है भाई, शर्म कर ले भाई।
शाम में किसका है?
ये जेंजी की तो जी फाड़ दी भाई।
फैनाटिक और FUT स्पोर्ट। फैनाटिक का है ना भाई?
भाई बिग फैन हो गया मैं तो जेंजी का। क्या
ऑपरेटर
मारा
लेके
मैको
गलती
ने,
की थी उसने
अभी नाइट
आखिरी राउंड
माको
में।
ने क्या
टेक्सचर
मारा भाई लास्ट में भाई,
रुक,
शिट भाई।
FUT
वो टेक्सचर अपना ऑपरेटर नहीं लेता ना, जीत जाते।
भाई माको ने, भाई मेरा फैन हो भाई मैं माको का, अब तो यूज भाई उसने मारा, क्या ही मारा भाई लास्ट में, ओ शिट भाई। अब
ओ
तो
शिट
पॉपकॉर्न खा
भाई,
आराम से, पॉपकॉर्न
ओ
मैं तेरे को
शिट
पॉपकॉर्न
भाई।
खिलाता हूँ, यूपीआई रे यूपीआई। मजा आ गया भाई।
मुझे लगा थर्ड मैप पे जाएगा यार, थर्ड मैप से पहले ही खत्म हो गया।
नहीं ब्रो नहीं, 2 मैच जीते लगातार ये लोग।
ऐसा नहीं है भाई, जेंजी भी अच्छा ही खेलता है।
जेंजी तो नूब है यार, छी भाई।
जेंजी
बस
हर
बस
बार
भाई
कमबैक
बस।
करता है।
हाँ भाई इस टाइम पे भी
नूब है
क्रेजी
भाई,
किया था भाई उसने।
बच्चा
बहुत
बच्चा
कमबैक
मारता
करता
है
है
जेंजी
जेंजी।
को तो
अभी
भाई,
लोअर
छी
ब्रैकेट
भाई।
में है ना, देखना अपर ब्रैकेट में आएगा वो धीरे
जेंजी को
धीरे।
तो मैं ही मार दूं 1v4।
उल्टा है, आप गलत बोल रहे हो।
अरे ब्रो, DRX मेरे साथ है तो डरने की क्या बात है भाई।
गाइस मेरे को इसका ये चेंज हो गया क्या?
अब FNC FUT का है भाई, FNC के साथ हूं मैं
ठीक है,
फुल भाई,
सही
FNC
बात है,
सपोर्टर भाई।
तो
एफएनसी बेटर है।
तभी वॉच पार्टी होगी भाई, प्यार से आ जाओ। लेवी
F-
हेलो, क्या हो रहा है? वॉच पार्टी खत्म हो गई, अभी 10:30 बजे होगी वॉच
पूरा
पार्टी।
पूरा मैच देखूंगा FNC का भाई मैं,
भाई
बिग फैन ऑफ
FNC का तो
FNC भाई।
भाई बहुत क्रेजी होने वाला है भाई, मजा आएगा। अरे तुम लोग है ना, जरा कुछ करते जाओ रे लाइव चैट के ऊपर, फिर मजा आएगा मालूम क्या देखने के लिए। थोड़ा सा नहीं क्या राइवलरी टाइप।
भाई बट अगर हम दोनों
फुल
एफएनसी को सपोर्ट कर रहे तो क्या राइवलरी।
FUT वाला है कोई
फालतू
यहाँ
तो।
पर? FUT वाला है?
हाँ,
कौन है?
मेरा भाई मेरे साथ बैठ के देख रहा
FUT वाला है तू?
था। मेरा भाई
चल ठीक है।
बगल में बैठा है मेरे।
FNC पे पैसा लगाएगा कोई?
हम भी आए, अरे कभी आए तुम?
भाई बट
अरे
उस टीम में
यार,
ना गारंटीड विन नहीं रहता। वो टीम बहुत ज्यादा दिमाग लगाता है, फिर हक देता है।
एक
भाई
खेल लू
जो भी
लेवी मेरे
यार,
भाई, ये लोग आ गए
DRX
अभी।
तो मेरी है।
तुम मैसेज तो पहले कर देते ना मेरे भाई, हमारे साथ कभी खेल देखो भी भाई, हम भी अच्छा खेल लेते हैं। गाइस लाइक किया है नहीं अपन ने? प्यार से कस्टम भाई, कस्टम हम करते हैं टूर्नामेंट रात में, जिसका कैश प्राइज होता है, और मैं तुम्हारे ऊपर अच्छी खासी नजर रखूंगा। अरे यार क्यों क्यों DQ कर रहे हैं भाई? किसको जाना है क्या?
एक वो लगा रहे, क्या नाम है?
तो हम लोग रात में ये करते हैं पैसे वाला कस्टम, जिसमें मैं कैश प्राइज देता हूँ लोगों को, ठीक है, जो भी जीतेगा वो। तो तुम आ सकते हो और अपनी टीम को भी लेके आ सकते हो। वैसे भाई वो कौन
अबे
से
प्रैक्टिस के लिए
गांव
शिफ्ट
में
पे
का था
लगा
भाई?
देता यार।
लेवी मैं बोल रहा था, तुमने हाय बोला मेरे भाई, तुमने बोला कि बाद में बोला, जब 5 स्टैक हो गया ना उसके बाद में टाइप किया भाई तुमने कि मैं आऊँ क्या, इसके लिए मैं बोल रहा एक मैच मेरे लिए।
हाँ ले ले, अरे ले ले इसको, ले
हाँ लू क्या?
ले ले
आजा
ले
आजा
ले ले
लेवी
ले
आजा।
ले।
कौन जा रहा है कौन जा रहा है?
एमलेस।
किसी को बुलाओ मत, लेवी आजा लेवी आजा।
वैसे देखा जाए तो जेनजी के हाथ में ऑपरेटर नहीं होती और रेस के जगह जेट होता तो गेम जीत सकते थे।
हाँ वो तो है, बट ये मैप के हिसाब से लिया ना उसने। मैं तो नूब हूँ लूसीफर भाई, तुमको ना भाई मैं मेरे सामने बिठाऊंगा ऑब्जर्वर में। मेरे बाजू में बिठाऊंगा, सॉरी ऑब्जर्वर में, अपन दोनों ऑब्जर्विंग करेंगे।
वालो चार्ट
परफेक्ट।
हाँ परफेक्ट परफेक्ट।
तेरा आईसो का, हाँ
बोला बोलो बोलो।
आईसो
आवाज कटी भाई तुम्हारी।
आईसो का एस अच्छा है
भाई
एस।
थैंक यू सो मच। और गाइस अपना शॉट देखो भाई, अभी जो रिसेंटली मैंने पोस्ट किया, एस मारा मैंने प्यार से, तो जरा उसको भी सपोर्ट कर
सबसे
दो।
पहले मैंने देखा है,
ओ लाइक और कमेंट कर दो भाई।
कर दिया, वही करा है।
परफेक्ट भाई, सेंटिनल्स क्लासिक स्पॉन्सर कर दो भाई साहब। वैसे गाइस तुम लाइव पे अगर आओगे तो देख लो, मैंने ये चीज आज लाई है। ये चीज जो है अपने को आज मदद कर सकती है। देख के बता सकते हो क्या है ये? एनीवन नो? तो ये जो है ये अपन यहाँ पे रख के बैकग्राउंड में दिखेगा, या फिर मैं कुछ ऐसे करूंगा जिससे अलग चीज क्रिएट हो। सो वी विल ट्राई।
भाई आप कलेक्टिबल्स रखते हो अपने पास?
क्या क्या?
कलेक्टिबल्स वो आते हैं ना, एक्शन फिगर और वो सब?
नहीं 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 नहीं।
अच्छा अच्छा। लेवी भाई कहाँ रह गए? अरे सेम बैनर।
बैनर क्या रखे हो रे तुम लोगों ने? पूकी हो क्या तुम लोग? ये देख किसने
भाई
रख
आपका भी
दिया।
तो वैसा ही है पूकी।
Match
नहीं नहीं,
found.
मेरा पूकी नहीं है, मेरा पूकी से थोड़ा ऊपर है, थोड़ा सा।
पूकी।
तो गाइस आज अपनी भी टूर्नामेंट होगी। मस्त था, मस्त ले। अपनी भी टूर्नामेंट होगी जिसमें फुल्ली 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 प्रोजेक्टर है रे बाबा।
प्लीज।
हाँ भाई, थोड़ा सा मैं सोच रहा था तुमको थोड़ा गेस करने दूं। मेरे हिसाब से वो जो टीवी है ना, वो सुबह तक अच्छा दिख रहा था, अभी कुछ अलग दिख रहा है क्या?
ब्रो रैंडम होने दो, जो होगा देखा जाएगा। मैं स्मोक लॉक कर रहा हूँ, तुम
अरे
तीनों
मत
random
रे
कर
यार,
लो।
कॉम्पी है तुम लोग, ये सब करना है तो भाई मैं अल्ट F4 दबा देता हूँ भाई, प्लीज मत करो यार।
भाई ड्यूलिस्ट में हूँ बट।
अरे जो लेना है अच्छे से ले लो मेरे भाई, आगे तो फिर सबको गाली दूंगा भाई मैं, सबको। क्यों लेवी? अभी ले लो।
क्या
तेजो ले, हाँ लेवी तेजो ले ले, तेजो ले ले लेवी। अरे लेकिन इनिशिएटर है ना ऑलरेडी यार, रुक रुक,
स्मोक उड़ गया ना भाई।
स्मोक स्मोक स्मोक, लेवी लेवी क्लोव, लेवी क्लोव। अरे जल्दी। अच्छा
लो कुछ और लो भाई फिर।
ओमन ओमन क्लोव नहीं चल रहा तो
मैं ले रहा हूँ।
अरे यार अपना DRX और तुम्हारी टीम में यही फर्क है।
पीछे रह के
भाई कार्तिक जो तूने बोला है ना भाई, मेरे को ट्रोल किया बट मेरे को हंसने आया भाई ये चीज।
फर्क बहुत ज्यादा भाई, जमीन आसमान का फर्क है।
एमलेस बोल रहा था भाई अपन एक दिन अपन भी खेलेंगे। नहीं नहीं होगा।
I will defend you all with my power and with my life.
इम्पॉसिबल टाइप शिट।
अरे जब तेरे को डुअलिस्ट नहीं लेना था तो हमसे क्यों चलवा दिया डुअलिस्ट भाई उमर?
लेवी डुअलिस्ट।
अबे भाई मैं लेने वाला था, स्मोक कोई नहीं ले रहा था, तब मैंने लिया स्मोक।
अबे गधे, तो हमें लेने नहीं देता डुअलिस्ट।
मेरे भाई सब अपने, ये मालूम है आपने मजाक में बोला भाई, मैं तो ऐसे ही बोल रहा था, बट सही बोला भाई जो तुमने बोला ना, सार्कास्टिक लेवल योर टीम वर्सेस इंडियन बोलना है आपको ऐसा।
Reloading.
क्या कर रहा था यार?
इंडियन टीम वर्सेस जापानीज टीम।
ना ना भाई वो कोरियन टीम है।
Sova removed.
सोवा नहीं आया रहता ना भाई, तेरे भाई ने थोड़ा सा डैमेज देके बाजू। कोई बात नहीं, पहला मैच हमेशा मैं पहले मरता, या फिर मैं पहले नहीं मारा था मैं मर ही जाता हूँ। चलो जेंजी, कमान जेंजी, जेंजी।
Spike planted.
3 down.
Last player standing.
क्या मारा है भाई, क्या मारा है?
3 तो मैंने मारे भाई, क्या कर रहे हो?
नहीं नहीं, बहुत सेक्सी मारा भाई, प्यारा।
म्यूट हो जा, रुक जा, शांत यार, इतना क्लोज
क्या उखाड़ लिया शांत करा के?
चुम्मा दे के चले गया यार वो।
नहीं, क्या उखाड़ लिया आपने शांत करा के?
भाई फिर भी फुट तो आने चाहिए थे ना, आप चिल्ला रहे थे।
स्ट्रेटेजिक फील लेकर खेलो, गेम मजा आएगा, ठीक है? तो वो लोग जो कर रहे थे ना एक चीज,
टाइम आउट मांगो, टाइम आउट मांगो।
हाँ भाई, टाइम आउट मांगो भाई।
टाइम आउट मांगो भाई, क्या यार तुम लोग जोन में घुस गए।
ऑल चैट टाइम आउट।
सरेंडर का ऑप्शन है, सरेंडर नहीं करना, टाइम आउट करना।
लेकिन वो लोग जो खेल रहे थे ना यूटिल्स के ऊपर, बहुत क्रेजी, अपना ही पहले जाता।
अरे रेना,
मैं वॉल टू डू बाय
Making focus.
Spike down A. Last player standing.
खेलने दो शांत से।
अरे वैंडल आने दो भाई। नाइस ही। कोई बात नहीं गाइस, कोई बात नहीं। जो जेंजी थे ना, वो स्टार्टिंग में 2 राउंड जीते थे। नहीं, स्टार्टिंग में 2 राउंड जीते थे।
हाँ फिर बिल्कुल DRX ने
फाड़ दी।
फैंटम कौन पे?
I need a gun.
रोनी पे होती है फैंटम।
अबे तेरे पे
रोनी बुलाओ यार।
तो पहले जेंजी भी 2 राउंड हारे थे।
अरे
सॉरी, जीते थे।
हाँ सही बात बोल रहे हो।
हाँ वो लोग जीते थे पहले, तो हम भी हार गए। तो
जीतेंगे। टाइम नहीं आ रहा बस अपना।
Try again.
ओह जीते भाई ये राउंड अपना। परफेक्ट भाई मिड बैठो, मैं आपके साथ बैठा हूँ।
ठीक है, मैं नहीं हो रहा क्या?
नहीं हो रहा अभी साइड के साथ है भाई।
ये आ गए वो लोग, वॉल भी कर दी।
Shadows. Enemy spotted. A.
ये ले वैंडल।
वाह वाह वाह। बी तो ऐसे खुला छोड़ के आए जैसे तो अपने
बाप का है। आगे भाई वो ए पे
ही है। चलो जीते भाई, ये राउंड अपना ही है। सेज हील दे दे उसको।
अरे ऊपर है 93।
One enemy remaining. 30 seconds left.
देना था।
सामने ही है भाई।
All missiles away.
निकल रोटेट कर रही है वो। निकल बी पे।
नहीं बी नहीं जा सकता। बी मत जा, टाइम नहीं है। बी मत जा।
हम पे हिल नहीं है। परफेक्ट, तू देख लियो।
10 seconds left.
अबे वो टाइम तो है तो बे।
प्लांट हो गया भाई।
होगा ना
Spike
तो
planted.
टाइम है तो
अबे
बे।
यार प्लांट हो गया वहाँ पे यार।
शील्ड खोल लेना ना परफेक्ट भाई, आप अकेले फुल एचपी हो। आप पे
Last player standing.
ऐसा अगर रुके रहेंगे तो किसको मालूम रहेगा? फुल एचपी रहने दो, हाफ एचपी रहने दो, इसकी बहन को नमन। गंदा मारा बे, गंदा मारा बे।
अरे कूदा नहीं, हम बाहर खड़े
हुई तो पता नहीं
Blue six it up easy kill.
हाँ भाई लाइव पे ही रुको, मैं बुलाता हूँ तुमको। खेलेंगे अपन।
हमें हील ही नहीं दिया। सेज तू हील दे देता।
सेज तू हील दे देना यार, क्या करता है भाई?
सेज तू क्यों मार रहा है?
बंदा सामने था 93 दिया मैंने उसको।
तू पीछे रह के खेल, क्योंकि तेरी जरूरत है अपने को हील के लिए। ए भाई मेरे को ये दे, रहना मेरे को वैंडल दे। नहीं इस पे नहीं है ना।
मैं यहाँ पे खेल रहा हूँ यार, कहाँ से खेल?
अरे ठीक है।
अरे खेल
ठीक है।
Enemy spotted.
मन पे लेगा तो कैसा होने का रे बाबा?
हाँ भाई तुम खुद का बोल लो, मैं बोलूँ नहीं भाई।
अबे
चिल रहे मेरे भाई।
अरे समझ गए, रुक जा यार, भौंकी जा रहा है।
अरे ओ मैं बोल ही नहीं रहा, मैं चुप बैठ गया, क्यों बोल रहे?
कोई बात नहीं भाई भाई माइटी माय बैड सॉरी मेरे भाई सॉरी
अबे बेट कर दिया लेवी
ने वेट कर दिया भाई, लेवी 120 दे रहा है।
आपस में ही झगड़ो बहनचोद। उठा मेरे को।
अबे गलत बंदा उठाया भाई, रॉन्ग चॉइस।
चल एक नंबर।
आजा
Last player standing.
एम लगा के बैठे
तो बे
अबे सेठ देख ही नहीं रहा था मेरी तरफ।
क्या बात है रे, बहुत सेक्सी खेला रे, सेक्सी खेला माइटी। उसको कोई कुछ नहीं बोलेगा गरीबों।
Reina, time to hunt.
बाय मिलेगा शेष भाई।
हाँ ऐसे बोलना है उसको।
फालतू में भर गया यार सेज। चिल मार।
सेज ने म्यूट कर दिया भाई।
वे जॉय इतना फालतू में बज रहा है भाई, ठीक है समझ गया भाई, नहीं की तेरी गलती, बात खत्म है यार। फालतू में बज रहा है।
आधा लेवी भाई बी आया, बी पुश हो गया ना बर्दार की।
Drone going out.
सभी आ गई भी?
अभी भी नहीं आया बी पे, बंगी साले।
Unsuppressed.
चल ले गए ऐसे मारे
मेरे हाथ पूरे पसीना पसीना हो रहे हैं।
स्टेज पे 110 110
Show me a target. Not enough. My ult is ready.
मतलब पीक मतलब अल्ट में लेना।
अल्ट में ले।
क्या लू अल्ट में निकलने तक चोद ऊपर जाने को। राइट में हूँ मैं, राइट में हाँ ऊपर ऊपर हाँ उठा सकता है तू यहीं से।
My turn.
नहीं उठा सकता।
अल्ट नहीं है।
ऊपर चढ़ रहा ऊपर चढ़ रहा।
अरे अल्ट था ना इस पे, सॉरी माय बैड, ये गलती हो गई भाई मेरी वापस।
One enemy remaining.
एक बंदा 140 और
स्पाइक यहाँ पे, स्पाइक वहाँ पे भाई जा।
अरे
ऑन साइड है।
क्या बात है भाई, क्या बात है, पहला राउंड निकल गया इनकी बहन को नमन। क्या बात है भाई, एक नंबर भाई। अभी से अपनी स्टार्ट हो गई अपना जो सक्सेस स्टोरी है वो अभी यहाँ से स्टार्ट होगा भाई। तुम्हारा भाई अभी अल्ट में एक को ले लेगा।
अरे माइटी ने वॉइस को भी ऑफ कर दिए।
उसको मैसेज कर रहे, उसको मैसेज कर उसको।
अरे वैंटम लेके मेरे को स्पेक्टर दे।
अच्छा
someone get this?
बोल तो रहा है। हेलो
भाई तुम्हारा पीक रैंक डायमंड 2 है।
किसका?
फिर भाई तुमने तो स्मर्फिंग करी थी भाई सुबह के मैच में। मेरे को वो पीक लेने का है, रोड मस्त पीक ले रहे थे ऐसा। भाई मैं तो मर जाऊंगा ऐसे।
ये लग रहा मैंने।
No distraction.
हाँ?
Stop fire.
गलत तरफ मारा है।
भाई गड़बड़ भी।
Three suppressed. Grenade is
Spike
live.
down A. Last player standing.
कोई बात नहीं, कोई बात नहीं। कमबैक इज
देवी
मस्ट
भाई।
है, कमबैक इज मस्ट है। 2 मिनट में मुंह पोंछ रहा हूं उधर।
कोई बात नहीं, भरोसे पे दुनिया टिकी है।
And I will kill to defend it.
लेवी भाई वैसे आपने क्या होगा?
यस अल्टरनेट अकाउंट था वो।
क्लासिक थी ना, क्लासिक थी हम पे।
सब सेव करो, माइटी सेव कर ले।
कैसा ना मतलब जैसे गरीबों को मारने के लिए तुम जैसे अमीर जब आते ना भाई, ये मेरे को गुस्सा आता मालूम क्या? मरफर कोई बात नहीं।
कौन स्पर्फ है?
मजा आया लेकिन तुम्हारे साथ खेल के भाई। मैं उसके लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग
अरे ना
कैसा
क्यों?
उसने बंद कर दिया लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग। होगा चलो, हो सकता है गाइस। किधर है? ए पे है ना?
अरे ये जाओ ना।
Joke's over. You're dead.
तू वो एंगल पकड़। हाँ सेज। सॉरी सेज।
Spike planted.
अरे क्या यार, कितने एंगल देखो।
Last player standing.
132 होगा।
दो वाले उन पे।
क्या करे हम?
भाई अभी ना जरा सोच के खेलो, ठीक है?
मैं गेम प्लान बनाता हूँ।
हाँ गेम प्लान बनाओ भाई, गेम प्लान बनाओ। अभी गेम प्लान बना के खेलेंगे, अभी नॉर्मली नहीं खेलना है अपने को, ठीक है?
I feel the strain. I need this.
पहले बाय तो फिर बताता हूँ गेम प्लान।
जी कद्दू भाई मिले तुझे। सॉरी।
ओ सुनो, अब ए आए ना तो हम अल्ट कर देंगे ताकि वो कोई भाग नहीं पाए, ठीक है?
मैं बग्गी लेके बैठ रहा हूँ भाई।
पीछे अरे ब्रो उनका पूरा स्पॉन अल्ट दियो, फिर हम पुश दे देंगे ना।
Thank you.
तो पूरा स्पॉन अल्ट क्या? वो अल्ट का मतलब नहीं है, अपन लोग
अबे वही उधर वाला अल्ट।
ए लगीच मत कर अल्ट भाई, लगीच मत कर अल्ट, पहले इन्फो ले ले।
रुक जा, आंदे रहना, थोड़ा पुश आंदे।
तेज वॉल कर।
You will not kill my
तेरे अल्ट
क्या टाइप पे दीवार तोड़ी रे बहन। हाँ मेकोटा सेज मेकोटा, वो लोग भाग जाएंगे।
Last player standing. Spike down A.
Stealing sight.
एक नंबर भाई तेरे पास ही।
My ultimate is ready.
स्पेक्टर ऐसे क्यों नहीं चलती?
चला नहीं।
One enemy remaining.
3 killed.
हो गए?
पीछे से भी आ सकता है, लेफ्ट से। क्या बात है भाई, क्या बात है भाई, बहुत प्यारा भाई, बहुत प्यारा भाई, बहुत प्यारा, मजा आ गया।
अच्छा सेज भी तो वही चला रहा है, भाई।
स्किन मांगता क्या?
स्पेक्टर स्किन।
परफेक्ट भाई बाय दो आपको।
I need a gun.
परफेक्ट बाय मांग लो।
I need a gun.
रेना तू कुछ सस्ता बाय कर ब्रो, तेरे पे शील्ड नहीं है, पैसा नहीं बचेगा। हाँ बढ़िया।
बी पे नहीं है ना? सेज तू मेरे को यहाँ पे वॉल दे।
My ult is not ready.
मिड रुकने का लेवी, मिड रुकने का, 3 लोग हैं वहाँ।
अपेक्टर है भाई हम पे।
Nowhere to run. तो क्यों खेल रहा है?
सेज ही
भाई मार दिया आलू से।
मेरे
परफेक्ट भाई आप तो मैप के
एक नंबर।
Grenade is live.
2 नंबर।
Stealing sight.
स्पाइक लेफ्ट में है।
One enemy remaining.
फेक टीपी दे, फेक। ऐसा दिखा कि तू ऊपर टीपी हुआ है।
Last player standing.
हमें ऊपर कुछ लगा। अरे
क्यों करा?
मैंने उसको 4 गोलियां मारी, मरा नहीं।
कितना लगा?
4 गोली मारी, ठीक है। क्रॉस तो कर।
150 पड़ा है भाई।
150 पड़ा है। हाँ सच्ची।
हाँ भाई माँ कसम 150 पड़ा है उसे, साला मरा ही नहीं।
ये देखो
मैं अपने बंटी की कसम खा के बोल रहा हूँ, 150 मारा मैंने उसको।
Need a drop.
बंटी अब उठेगा नहीं भाई, मर गया बंटी।
I need a gun.
I
need a gun.
अच्छा स्पेक्टर चाहिए।
कोई बात।
I need a gun.
अरे भाई खेलो।
आ गए।
भाई अब भाई मांगना बंद कर दो अब।
Joke's over. You're dead.
मैं तारन को बैक छाप दे।
Reloading.
All missiles away.
नाइफ हाथ में रख दिया था मैं।
तुमको पता है नच रहा हमारे सामने नच रहा है, तू पता है?
अरे क्या
Spike
बोलूं भाई?
planted. Last player standing.
गीता हील कर। सेज भाई शर्म भूल दा।
सेज बहुत सेक्सी खेल रहा है तू।
So meaningless.
मैं भी जरा स्पेक्टर चलाता हूँ भाई। क्या है स्पेक्टर में ऐसी क्या बात है भाई जो इतना मार रहा है?
भाई तो बे चल कैसे रही है ये?
क्रॉस कर दे और चल जाएगी।
स्पैम लगा लो, जीत जाओगे।
थोड़े बंदे बोलते हैं
ओए ए स्टैक करते हैं अगर ये सिर्फ ए आ रहे तो। साइड में शॉटगन पकड़ के बैठता फिर बहन बढ़।
अपना रेना का है, अपना रेना का है।
यस यस
रेना गया दूर
आइसो आइसो पीछे मर आइसो अब मरेगा ना पीछे मर मैं रिवाइव दूंगा
All missiles away. Locating target.
टाइमिंग
Drone is down.
बहुत गंदी टाइमिंग।
Night munition.
मुझे कवर देना।
कवर गया हां
क्या एक और स्मोक दो
पीछे आ जाओ ना
बी जाओ हम बी जा रहे हैं
आ जाओ बी जाओ
रीना एफके रीना
जल्दी जाओ भी।
ए यार हमको खोर लाए थे, क्या कहते हैं अपना
ये क्या प्रो गेम सेंस वाले हैं।
अरे बहन
Player standing.
मेरे को लगा है कि बैठा है वहाँ पे।
परफेक्ट भाई, आपके साथ तो हो गया,
मेरे साथ ही ऐसा होता है भाई।
Last round in the
Hello,
half.
भाई
ये राउंड
कैसे हो?
कट्स लग जाएगा ये राउंड जीत दो।
जीतना भाई जीतना, रेना गया भाड़ में, हम जिताएंगे गेम। ले भी भाई इमोशनल बूस्ट दो
भाई। एक काम करो अभी एक काम करो भाई, अभी ना प्लांट होने दो अभी।
अगली डिफेंडिंग उनकी है, स्पैम नहीं करे।
ओए हाँ उनकी डिफेंडिंग है, मारेंगे पकड़ के वो।
Zero.
भाई स्पैम मत कर।
आइडिया है, एक आइडिया है, गुस्सा
घुस जाओ भाई घुस जाओ।
एक दूसरे को गुस्सा दिलाते हैं, गेम खेलना हो जाएगा।
ठीक है भाई स्वार्थ है।
शेद भाई तू बहुत हम्बू आदमी है, तुमको नहीं आता खेलना, कर अनइंस्टॉल कर भाई। तू एक किल नहीं निकल रहा तुझसे, एस मार तो मैं मानूं।
ऑफ चलाने नहीं आती।
हाँ 3 किल ऊपर है, मेरे पास है।
बंदे देख के तो तेरे से चीख निकल रही है, क्या इस मारेगा तू बंदा? आई मीन
Show me a target. No distraction.
ये प्लान कर रही थी कैसे?
इसकी मां का बनो
साला कद्दू मारे मेरे को।
Contract complete.
अबे दो लोग गायब।
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
ओमन के चक्कर में अपन
यहीं पे राइट साइड नीचे। भाई परफेक्ट भाई, मजा आ गया।
पता से ये अपन दोनों को ये ओमन के चक्कर में लगा, वरना लगता थोड़ी ना ये ओमन है ना।
Killing them is easier.
भाई आ रहे अपन आ रहे हैं, रुको जरा, अपन कुछ करके आ रहे हैं, रुको जरा।
हाथ लगा रहे हैं, रिपोर्ट करो।
कर रहा हूं।
अरे यार मैं हैक कद्दू लगे मेरे को, हैक जरूरत पड़े मेरे को हैक।
अबे यहाँ मत आओ ब्रो, बीच में।
अभी मैं शील्ड लूंगा और वॉल दूंगा, राइट लेफ्ट चेक करना है अपने को और घुस जाना है। ओके जी,
बी आ जाओ परफेक्ट भाई, बी आ जाओ।
अरे क्या यार, प्लान की बड़ी मां बहन कर दी यार, हट।
अरे भाई ये बहुत छोटी जगह है, मर जाएंगे 2 सेकंड में।
अरे छोटी जगह में बड़ी बातें करते हैं हम लोग ब्रो।
भाई पुणे से हो गया।
चल मैं अभी वॉल दे रहा हूँ। चल।
Spike carrier is down.
Down B.
ड्यूलिस्ट तू क्या यार मैं?
भाई 2 मार दिया, अब हगना मत बस। मैंने 2 मारे
Got them.
बस। ये तेजो भाई छोड़ दे गेम, तेरे को खेलना नहीं आ रहा।
I got the spike.
प्लांट कर
साली मरेगा।
प्लांट करना, टाइम लेके प्लांट करना।
Show me a target.
बहुत गंदा प्लांट है, जल्दी डाल, मर
All missiles
जाएगा।
away.
Last player standing.
हग दिया।
One enemy remaining.
लेने दिया करो।
बैक आ गया।
अबे यार 2 मिनट रुको ना, कितना चिल्ला रहे भाई। 2 मिनट रुको ना भाई, एक तो तुमको बोल रहा पीक मत लो, तभी पीक ले रहे।
लेवी शर्म आ रही है।
Clutch.
बात छोड़ देंगे अब, आपको बोल रहा है, चिल्ला रहा है। अरे तो
अरे रुक जा मेरे भाई, रुक जाओ थोड़ा सा, रुक के खेलो भाई, मारेंगे अपन।
मैं चुप बैठा हूँ, मैं चुप बैठा हूँ।
क्यों पीक ले रहा था तू?
हाँ
मैं पीक का लिया, मैंने तो 2 मारे भाई।
आर्यन रात को
मार
होगा
के
लाइव
मारा मैं।
मतलब?
रात को आएगा ये पूछ रहा है वो।
ओमन तो भाई अंदर घुस रहा है, ऐसा ऐसा घुस रहा है कि ये बाप का है।
गुस्सा ही नहीं ना गधे।
यार कहीं जंप करा तूने।
ठीक है चलो गाइस, होगा चिल मारो।
कूद जा भाई, तू बाप के यार कूद जा।
No charges.
सीवी लोग क्या रहा है?
Focusing.
वाह 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 वाह,
क्यों परफेक्ट?
क्या रिवील हो गया, मैं अभी क्या करूं भाई? यो थक्कर गेमिंग व्हाट्सअप, बहुत दिनों बाद
परफेक्ट भाई कौन सी गन दी है उनको?
उनको चैंडल दे दी मैंने। ये पीक सीखना यार, अजी कद्दू मेरा पीक ले।
अरे भाई
मुंह पे दे दिया भाई उसको।
लूंगा पीक तो लूंगा, ऐसा थोड़ी ना। मोमो बांट रहा है फिर।
All missiles away.
मैं भूल गया मैं स्मोकर हूँ।
Live munition.
कवर दे।
राइट से कवर दे, ऊपर से बात।
हाँ लॉन्ग खेलो चलो।
तेरा ई एबिलिटी आने में 20 सेकंड है, 20 सेकंड होल्ड करो। पीक ले
Player standing.
हाफ हो
ओए
गया।
Rest.
एक मिनट, वो वॉल के पीछे बैठ के डिफ करा।
कैसे?
लाइट गई तुम्हारी तो कल आके बोलोगे क्या?
मैंने रिपोर्ट दे दिया भाई, मुझे फर्क नहीं पड़ता।
किसको दे दिया
कर रहा भाई, ऑप्शन नहीं है, ऑप्शन नहीं है। ओडिन
अरे ना भाई, उसको बैन लगना चाहिए, ऐसे कॉम्पिटिटिव के बीच में जा रहा है, बता के भी नहीं गया।
अरे उसका लाइट गया तो कैसा बता के जाएगा भाई? पीसी
भाई तो स्ट्रीम पे तो मैसेज दे ही देता ना जल्दी।
हाँ स्ट्रीम पे लेट दिया तूने भाई, स्ट्रीम पे मैसेज लेट किया।
वाईफाई चला
कभी गया भाई तू? चलो लेट्स गो, जीजी सीजी पीजी।
Show me a target.
जीई।
अरे यार
माँ का बेटा है ये, मैं इसकी माँ के बेटे को मार डालूं।
चल 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 आजा,
आ जाना है।
चल 3v3 एक नंबर। चल प्लांट दे प्लांट दे प्लांट दे।
Our
चल
spike is down.
नहीं
Spike down B.
वो
इधर
साला अंदर बैठ के वो डाल दिया। 80 है अंदर, यहाँ पे नीचे।
वाइस की माँ के बेटे को मार डालेंगे भाई।
Target down. My ult is ready.
Last player standing.
भाई चीनी भी गया था अभी।
अभी गधा उड़न क्यों ले आया?
एक एक गोली थे भाई।
भाई
Match
साहब
point.
Forgive me
फिनिक्स
if I
भी जा रहा था
overextended.
ब्रो।
I would have it.
अभी इसके पास होगी आउटलॉ, तो अपन इसको लेंगे अल्ट में शील्ड लगा के।
अरे एक घुसो रे बॉयज नहीं।
पहले गया इन्वर्टर चालू, बंद करा, वो काम नहीं
बॉल नहीं है भाई
करा,
उसका,
फिर
उसका
आया
बॉल नहीं
बताने
है,
कि
चलो।
मैं नहीं आ पाऊंगा।
कौन का बॉल नहीं है, कौन का
कोई
नहीं
बात
है? सेज रोज बॉल कर रहा है रोज।
लाइव पे रह सकते हो
रोज।
चलो लेट्स गो। ए रुको,
बॉल तो भी ना।
बॉल
Focusing.
डाटा
माँ के यहाँ के यार इसकी।
Spike down A.
बॉल
पहले उसको पिस्टल से
This is how we end.
Player standing.
मुंह पीले
Defenders win.
Give it, restore, uninstall.
लेवी अनइंस्टॉल।
फॉर रियल भाई, ये हमारा गेम नहीं था भाई, मजाक से हट के नहीं था भाई हमारा।
लेवी भाई रिटायर हो रहे हो ना फिर?
बहुत बहुत गंदे रिटायर भाई, हम रिटायर
भूल तो नहीं गए ना? अरे कैसे भूलेंगे भाई?
अरे -16।
कौन बोला कौन बोला?
क्या बोला? मेरा 11 का हुआ है, मेरा 11
इसको हटाओ यार, ये तो AFK है ना, इसको हटा दो।
ओमन को भी हटा दो, जरूरत है नहीं।
चलना वे।
स्मोक्स तो दिख नहीं पाए रे मेरे को।
ए 2 मिनट रुको।
अबे तो तुम बचाओगे मुझे तब दूंगा ना
थोड़ा
स्मोक।
सा एक रिंग लाइट चालू कर देता
तो
हूँ।
पीछे से ना वही तो आगे मत जा।
अबे से तू उछल क्यों रहा बे?
बोल रहा हूँ भाई तू क्यों चल रहा है?
उछल तू रहा है भाई, टॉप फ्रैग बन गया उसका ये मतलब नहीं तो हर दूसरे बंदे की गलती निकाल रहा है। बॉटम फ्रैग देखा तूने कौन है? उसको तो बोलेगा ही नहीं।
चोद देंगे।
अरे वो मैं उसे बोलूंगा वो मुझे गाली देगा। उससे अच्छा तुझे बोलूं, तू गाली सुन के भी नहीं बोलेगा कुछ। वो गाली
अबे साले बहुत बोलूंगा भाई मैं। परफेक्ट भाई गाली देने को अबे
फर्क रहता है कि तू मेरे एज का है, वो बड़ा है मेरे से, बस उतना ही फर्क है। बोल के देखो बोल रहा हूँ।
कितने साल का बे?
मैं 18 का हूँ भाई।
भैया गाली वाली मत सिखाया करो बच्चे को।
तुम लोग एक खेल सकते हो क्या? एक खेल लो तुम लोग। अरे यार लूसीफर सो सॉरी, रुको मैं तुमको ऐड करता हुआ। अरे मैं कोई रुको 2 मिनट रुको। एक जगह मिल सकती है क्या मेरे को? हेलो
क्या मिलेगा भाई?
एक जगह मिल सकती है क्या मेरे को?
हाँ कोई दिक्कत नहीं, चलो हम चले जाते हैं।
अरे तू सुन ना।
ना 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 ना
मैं जाता हूँ, मैं जा रहा हूँ, चल जा।
ना ना अबे ना 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 कोई बंदे
खेलो
बलिदान
फिर।
दे रहे हैं हमारे चक्कर में भाई। बंदे हमारे चक्कर में बलिदान
ठीक
दे
है
रहे
बुला
हैं।
लो ना, जो भी आज हो गया।
भाई तुम्हारे
एस भाई आप पे स्किन है?
भाई बंदा पहली बार आया अपने पार्टी में, उसमें भी गरीबों जैसे स्किन मांग ली तुम लोगों ने भाई।
भाई
क्या है बोलूं मतलब।
मुद्दे की बात पहले भाई। परफेक्ट भाई मुद्दे की बात पहले।
मुद्दे की बात पहले इसका मतलब क्या? लड़की से रिलेशनशिप में जाने से पहले पूछ लेते हो क्या देगी या नहीं?
हाँ बिल्कुल भाई, सीधा सीधा बात।
अरे भाई वाह। ए गाइस मैं 2 मिनट रुको।
अरे सुनो
ये सेटअप कर
ये
रहा हूँ।
2025 से पहले पूछना पड़ेगा कि पूरी तरह
सही बात है। जेंजी बच्चे हैं ना आजकल।
लड़की है कि नहीं, पूरी तरह से लड़की है कि नहीं, ये पूछना पड़ता है।
हाँ जेंजी बच्चे आए ना आजकल के।
आजकल तो वॉइस चेंजर भी आ रहा है भाई।
मैं पोजीशन वापस से चेंज कर रहा हूँ गाइस।
पोजीशन क्यों भाई? कौन सी अभी कुत्ते वाली?
अरे इसको बना दो किरीसु को, शायद लॉबी
2 मिनट के लिए मैं फेस कैम बंद कर रहा हूँ। अभी सब पोजीशन वापस से चेंज कर रहा हूँ मैं, तो सब सही दिखेगा।
कोई अच्छा यार पता है
माइटी बहुत फालतू को चिल्ला के गया है।
अबे हमने तो कस्टम किया था भाई इससे पहले उन लोगों के साथ माइटी टाइम के बाद। इतना बचते हैं बेजे बंदे, इतना बचते हैं भाई क्या बोले। सिक इरिटेट हो गया सोचो। सिक
भाई सिक तो इरिटेट नहीं होता, वो तो ऐसी गाली दे जाता है।
नहीं वो बंदा इरिटेट हो गया, इतना बच रहा है, फालतू में बच रहा है बे।
कौन ये माइटी?
माइटी हुआ, टाइम्स हुआ, और भी थे 2 और थे कोई।
मजा नहीं यार माइटी के साथ। अरे भाई टॉप फ्रैग बन गया से ये मतलब थोड़ी ना उछलेगा अब। मेरे से कुछ बोल नहीं रहा वरना वो हमेशा पहले बी वॉल दे सकता है, ए वॉल दे सकता है, दे नहीं रहा है। वो वॉल बचा के रख रहा है।
लेट वॉल आ रही थी, कोई ना ठीक है कोई ना।
स्मोक उससे मांगी नहीं है फिर।
हमारा डी रैंक है भाई, बकचोदी मत दो भाई, डी रैंक है हमारा।
सबका डी रैंक है भाई। परफेक्ट भाई का भी डी रैंक है।
अबे उसका तो है अभी।
नहीं अभी नहीं है, उसको मिटाई है। परफेक्ट भाई ये रेड कारपेट की बना रखा आपने? कोई इंस्पिरेशन आई थी क्या? रेड कारपेट बना दिया करियर।
मैंने दिल की सुन ली।
लेवी भाई आपका भी रेड कारपेट बना हुआ है।
मैच फाउंड।
बढ़िया।
हमें आईसो ले लेंदे भाई। परफेक्ट आईसो ले लेंदे भाई। लोटस में आईसो बढ़िया।
अरे मुझे लेना है आईसो,
वापस से
मुझे लेना है,
बड़े आराम से
मुझे लेना
2
है।
मिनट में मैं चालू कर रहा हूँ बाकी की चीजें। मेरे को
साले
थोड़ा सा
इंस्टा
टाइम दो।
लोकर है मैं लोड़े।
केस क्यों?
मैंने दिल की सुन
ने
ली।
रेस मैंने क्या?
रेज और जेट।
कोई बात नहीं, फिर आई से लॉक कर रहा मैं। ब्लाइंड नहीं रहेगा वैसे देखा जाए तो। डिजी या कुछ ही।
तो सुबह वाले मैच में इनके ओपोनेंट में आया था मैं।
परफेक्ट भाई के?
किसी के फोन भी नहीं उठा
हाँ ये लेवी भाई भी तो थे। एस
सुबह 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 इन लोगों ने मुझे बुलाया ही नहीं, मैं ऑनलाइन बैठा हुआ था।
पर्ल मैप में जब तुम्हारे ओपोनेंट में छेड़ता है।
पर्ल में अपोनेंट में
हाँ
पेटे थे, जीत गए थे।
पूछो
लेवी भाई
हारे थे
हाँ, कितने से
हारे थे तभी इतना खुश होके बता रहा है ना वो। हाँ, ठीक है, तभी मुझे बोलना इससे पूछो, ये बता रहा है मैं यार तो
मैं सेटअप कर रहा हूँ भाई।
Choose your agent.
परफेक्ट भाई, लॉक कर लो।
Enough training.
स्मोक्स नहीं,
अरे
स्मोक्स नहीं है। अरे हार्बर मत ले, ग्लोव वगैरह ठीक है।
बहुत चूतिया स्मोकर है अपनी टीम में, इसका मतलब समझ गए हो।
कोई नहीं,
मुझे स्मोक देने आते नहीं, मांग भी मत लेना।
अरे यार तो जमा हमसे बोल देता, हम ले लेते।
मजाक कर रहा हूँ, ओमन मेनू
दिख रहा था इससे पहले ओमन में
भाई। हाँ मैंने क्लच किया था ना स्पेक्टर से, पीछे घुस गया था मैं टीपी मार मार के। मैंने किया था ना, भूलना मत, स्ट्रीम देख लेना, वरना याद आ जाएगा।
A multiverse nexus. Enfin.
पर वही वाला मैप था क्या इसमें, वो गांव वाला बंदा आया था एक।
भाई मैं एक एक राउंड में जाऊंगा उठ के, और मैं थोड़ा थोड़ा सेटअप करूंगा, ठीक है।
अरे तू जा रे, चलो बताओ कहाँ जाना है, बताओ स्पाइक दो चलो, मैं जल्दी पुंड फाड़ेंगे बहुत
मुझे लग रहा है
इसलिए मैं किल नहीं आ रहे बहन के भाई मेरे पर पे बेबा, ऐसा नहीं करते, स्पाइक दो ना। सारा दिमाग खराब हो रहा है भाई, जीरो पिछली बार 3 किल पे थे भाई हम, हमारा
सेटअप वापस से करना है यार मेरे को।
इजी पे गो ऊपर
तो क्या ब्रीच है, स्टन आएगा। अबे
Reloading.
इसके बाद
One less.
रेज भाई, क्लच आपने करवाना था, हमने नहीं।
भाई हम
Spike down A. Last player standing.
इन लोगों को मतलब नहीं पता भाई पीछे आने का।
अबे हमने ऐसे क्या मतलब हुआ कैसल भी साथ में फूट गया उसके, कैसल गया भाई।
हम लोग स्मर्फ नहीं है ना भाई आपकी तरह, रेज भाई। कौन सा ब्रिम
क्या होता है, ब्रीच है वो।
ब्रेन बोला है। ओरा
अच्छा वापस चालू हो गया, जीते गए हारे, अरे गरीबों हार गए।
सुनो एक किल मारा पूरा हमने, टॉप फ्रैगर कर रहे हैं, बकचोदी नहीं हो जाए तो यार। एक किल के साथ
असिस्ट था उसमें मेरा।
ओह रहने
भागो, मर जाओगे।
Up and away. Someone's there. Get him, Wheeman.
Yes.
Last player standing. Flawless.
लेवी भाई थोड़ी सी ढीला है मैं आपका।
अरे ये नहीं ढीला।
It seems these strangers want me dead.
They're
not so first.
अभी हो गया। मैं आ रहा हूँ मैं सेटअप चालू। What do you need?
Thanks.
अच्छा
I need a gun. Thank you.
रे स्पेक्टर किसी ने।
ठीक है। सो अभी
क्या बंदा यार गे पे पैसे लगा रहा, फैंटम मिले।
In we go.
हाँ तो मेन से आ जाओ। अच्छा डायमंड है वो तो।
हाँ क्या टेलीपोर्ट करा हुआ।
तू देखा भाई।
हमें अंदर फेंक के बाहर रहेगा तुम लोग, प्लांट कर दिया हमने, काम कर दिया हमारा।
Making cover.
प्लांट हो गया भाई, कितना सही प्लांट किया।
Die.
नहीं भाई ये प्लांट तो भाई मजदूर दे देते हैं।
Enemy C.
Next.
मार बहुत सही प्लांट दिया है, तुम्हें तो माना मत
भाई बहुत गंदा है।
Last player standing.
हाँ बहुत गंदा है, तभी तो प्लांट के चक्कर में नहीं तो
Clutch.
बहुत गंदा है।
अबे तू भी मर गया। तुम्हारे भाई ने लास्ट में कैसे निकाले किल? 3 किल निकाले तुम्हारे भाई ने, नहीं 2 किल निकाले।
कौन?
देखा भाई।
It's me bro. Perfect.
I need a gun.
ओह
Thank you.
परफेक्ट भाई, एक एस मार दो, एस आपको पैसे भेज देगा।
एस मार दो, एस आपको पैसे भेज देगा। वाह
लेवी भाई पैसे भेज देंगे, एस मार दो बस।
उनका कॉक एफ क्या है?
हैं?
कॉक
अबे
101
चलो
उनके बंदे ने गेम ही क्विट कर दी, बुरा मान गया इनका।
Making cover.
Spike planted. Thanks, Wing.
One enemy remaining.
Here.
I guess that's it.
अबे साले लेवी सारी स्किन ले जाएगा क्या?
Take aim. Zenfire.
दुकान लगानी है तेरे को, स्किन बेच रहा हूँ मैं, ले लो।
Zenfire, let's not make complicated.
ओरिजिन उठा ली, उसके बाद ये हेडीज वाली उठा ली।
अरे
प्रीमूडिया में
I need a gun. Thank you.
गरीब, ये गरीब।
बॉटम फ्रैग हो जाओगे अभी, शांत रह लो।
देख हमारा नहीं चल रहा आज गेम।
बॉटम फ्रैगर ही कह दे।
कुछ भी बोला मैं कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा क्योंकि हमारा गेम नहीं चल रहा है अभी फिलहाल।
वैसे ही कब चलता है?
पहली बार खेल रहा है ना मारा।
अरे मेरी हील की तो लग गई। मैं अल्ट पे खेल रहा हूँ। ए स्पाइक ले ले भाई, ए स्पाइक ले ले रे।
हम सभी के हम दिमाग
रेस तो पूछ देगा।
Show me a target. No distractions.
One enemy remaining.
Well fought.
इसकी ऑफ ले लो भाई।
अबे एस करना है ऑफ से।
ये ले ले, हाँ गन ले ले, हाँ मस्त हो।
These guns we use are okay, but I will also bring my own.
वैंडल कौन सी है?
No
रेस
thanks.
प्राइम देना प्राइम।
ये वाला परफेक्ट भाई, अपनी वाली देना।
I need a gun. Thank you.
अपनी
I need a gun.
ट्रेड करना चाहेगा?
是时候进入状态了。
चलो
मैं देता हूँ तेरे को, बस 5 गोली मारूंगा फिर वापस दे दूंगा।
Show me a target.
Shit.
Grenade.
अल्ट मारा क्यों?
Go get him.
स्पाइक।
Ult's ready.
Shadows.
I got your spike.
Cover going out.
One enemy remaining.
ऑफ ले मेरे पास ऑफ
I
थी।
would apologize to them, but
Off ना।
alas, they're dead.
ऑफ ले ले।
Look for my shadows; they will hide you.
दे।
परफेक्ट भाई, एक फैंटम की स्किन भी ले लो।
हाँ लेता हूँ, मेरे को रिकॉन लेनी है।
है ना, मैं भी उसी इंतजार कर रहा हूँ जब रिकॉन आए ले।
भाई मुझे नेक्स्ट मैच इनवाइट करोगे? हाँ भाई। भाई इस टाइम पे नहीं कर पाया, अपने आज एक बंदा अपने इसमें आया है प्यार से खेलने, एस भाई पहली बार आए थे तो मैंने उनको बुला लिया। रुके
हाँ नेक्स्ट मैच मैं एक स्पॉट दे सकता हूँ।
हाँ एक स्पॉट
अगर चाहिए तो।
हम भी दे देंगे।
2 बंदे हैं तो दोनों को बुला लो।
Dizzy's up.
अल्ट मार ले भाई।
Somebody's there.
पीछे से बैक स्टेप की आवाज आई क्या देखो?
One enemy.